Good evening everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you're all doing very well this fine Sunday evening. We're going to swap over to the scene. Don't be alarmed, the scene is a slightly different scenario in my background, but other than that, we are all good. Good evening one and all. Let me put the game music on, there we go. Good evening, who do we have in? I've got Edward, Silent Mouse, Cow King, Betcat, Harindev, Krozak, Apophis, Trishan, and Danny. Good evening one and all. I hope you're doing well. We've got a slightly different arrangement behind me now. I've now moved temporarily back downstairs, but I'm in the sort of living room area where I'm tucked away in the corner. So I have Oreo, but he's kind of on a chair opposite me on the dining room, so you can't really quite see him. I'm not down on the floor this time. Haven't quite moved that far, but temporarily we're over here whilst we're redecorating upstairs. So that's the reason for the change. Well, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you have had a lovely week of gold making, despite all the turbulent times and things like that that's been going on. We do have the Wowhead blog. It went live just as I went live, so that is the first things first we will talk about. That should work. There we go. As the universe fades, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Let's just bring this up so I've got another screen. There we go. So that should be alright. So we'll be talking about the Wowhead blog first and foremost, and then we'll go through all my auctions, repost and relist and restock everything on, because everything, as usual, tends to expire on a weekend, because I don't tend to play that often on a Saturday. So a lot of stuff does expire. Neverlicious, thank you very much for the cheer. Love my YouTube videos, first time catching me live. Excuse me. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. Lovely to have you here, and thank you for the cheer. Doing pretty well, farming some classic blacksmithing recipes on your paladin. Very nice. Nice casual way to go through, definitely. Finished the week off at 4.65 million. You're very close, Edwards, very close. You've been doing very well in getting your gold all lined up ready. Where did that window go? Let me just bring across the Wowhead blog, because obviously we're going to be talking about the things that's been happening this week, which has really been the auction house throttling. That was the story throughout the week, and just kind of this is a summary of what happened, what went down, and things like that. But it's kind of like a long tale, really. I think most of you probably have been aware, as us all gold makers were pretty shocked by the start of it, certainly. But this kind of goes through from the beginning as to what we knew on when it first came out on Tuesday, when Sapu first discovered it and posted on the Blizzard forums, and then how that's kind of unfolded. So there's a few things I'll probably touch upon. Stuff we've probably talked about a fair amount on the stream as it excuse me, I've got a tickly throat today. Just finished eating. Telomir, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. So yes, we kind of we saw all of this unfold in real time, but this is kind of like a summary of the entire event. And Hamish, thank you very much for the follow. Lovely to have you here. I think I got the numbers to letters okay there. So Sabu originally discovered that the auction house was getting a severe amount of throttling, and then posted the results on the Blizzard forums, which we got. The first we knew about it was the Blizzard response saying yes, that is intended, and so a few points that came out from this was, one was they were having issues with the speed of the auction house traffic, and it was this throttle was intended to fix that. And then the other thing that came out of this was talking about how they felt the players using add-ons were getting an unfair advantage, which was kind of strange, as we've been doing this kind of thing for 15 years and hadn't had any kind of notification of that at all at this time. So that was quite confusing at the time. And then things unfolded. Obviously, everyone discovered it in America first and discovered the throttling, and then we in the EU got it the next day with the hotfix rolling out there with reset. And it was pretty horrendous, to be honest. It was very difficult to post. It took twice as long to list half the amount of auctions That was including a fair amount of cancel scanning as well. And this was one of the things that people talked about, really. Was this a way to get rid of was this the problem? Was cancel scanning the problem? And that was causing the players to have players that weren't using something like TSM to feel like they were getting unfairly penalised if that was the case. So it was quite interesting to see how this all unfold. Billis and Nixia did a very nice post. I need to do a link to that one. I must update that. I'll put that on my list to do. So basically, this was a very nice summary that Billis put on the original thread. There was a second thread there. I haven't got a link to that one either. I'll have to put those links in there. I'm missing a couple of links in that, but I'll link to those properly tomorrow, I think. And then there was basically Billis did a really nice summary of the entire thing, and basically sort of summarised what their experience was of the auction house and what they thought that Blizzard were trying to do. Because obviously Blizzard here we're talking about we would like the current tuning values are a starting point, and we very much welcome feedback. Good evening, Jack. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. We're just going through the tale of the throttle and going through the summary of everything that happened. And then in Billis's post there was a really nice sort of like what that happened and what the experience was like for a regular gold maker. We all experienced this during the week, and this was a very succinct post that went through exactly sort of like how this was affecting people. And this isn't people that are doing heavy cancel scans. This is just someone who is just generally trying to play the auction house and use that part of the game, which is kind of like has been the main entertainment for a lot of us when other things like raiding isn't quite as appealing. And so then one of the things that I sort of really resonated with me was this couple of sentences here. Feel like you approach this problem, whether it was a problem or not, is debatable, with a sledgehammer, without engaging the community first, without listening to our feedback and our concerns. Only after you broke the auction house and made it nearly unusable for many active auction house players, only now do you ask for feedback. It's quite disappointing, and I hope these things will be handled better in the future. I thought that was a lovely summary as to how a lot of us felt. I mean, we are, on the whole, a fairly sort of mature, well-reasoned community, and very helpful and happy to help people out. So I'm sure we would have been able to at least come up with some responses as to why this may or may not work, or things that say the TSM team could have done to alleviate this issue or find out what the actual issue was. I liked how polite a lot of the responses were. Yeah, I thought so too, Edwards. I thought it was a real testament to how amazing this community is. For that very reason, is that we're probably not your average player base. We do things slightly differently, and we probably will look at a more reasoned approach. That's probably more kind of like the appeal for gold making anyway. And then there was a good summary as to suggestions as to what could be done better. Brumblefire, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. So, not only was the throttling punishing essentially every player, and one of the suggestions here that Billis had was talking about just limiting it to cancelling. Cancelling, on the other hand, could be considered the issue, because we didn't know from Blizzard actually what the issue was. This was the thing. Without any effective communication, we wouldn't know. Okay, well, what is the actual issue at hand here? And Muscular Plumbers, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. We're just talking through the everything that happened with the throttling at the moment and where it lands at the moment. So we're talking about Billis's post that was on the forums, and then basically cancelling on the other hand. Obviously, people should have the ability to cancel an auction if they no longer wish to sell the item. The constant cycle of cancelling items just to repost them at the lowest price is what's causing so much stress on the servers. If that was the case, then it would be nice if that was if that was explained to us, the reason behind it. Yes, Mr. Vader, we're downstairs in the living room at the moment, so we've changed location again. This is just temporary whilst we decorate upstairs. And so then the suggestions was basically, first and foremost, remove the throttling, and secondly, alternatively, you could remove the throttling completely, and instead of throttling the cancelling itself, you could make it so that items you cancel take an hour before they show up in your mailbox, which is quite an interesting idea. The only exception to this would be if something was about to expire, like within sort of like 1 or 2 hours, which would be the sort of thing you would do if that's your evening routine and you want to just log on, cancel your things and repost them on, and then carry on with your playstyle. So that would be a perfectly legitimate way and reason why someone would want to cancel all their auctions. So that would possibly be a way, but the best way to fix this is to throttle cancelling as the suggestion. And lo and behold, after that lengthy post and Blizzard probably reading all the responses, they did say, update, a few minutes ago we significantly relaxed the throttle on all auction house operations except for cancelling auctions. And then please feel free to reply this with your feedback and see how it feels now, which obviously we were all relieved at, most definitely. Next week he'll be streaming outside. I'm not sure how we'll get on with the with my neighbours, me talking out loud to everyone. Matt Goldcast, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. So basically, this kind of fixed most issues, hopefully for both parties, both for us as users and hopefully whatever issues Blizzard had with the strain on the auction house. Obviously, it's been much better since that came into effect. It was also interesting to note as a side thing from this that there has actually been a throttle of 100 auctions per minute since 8.3. We just never noticed it because the auction houses were still underburdened and very slow. And then it was very nice to see the TSM team, Gumdrops and Sapu, coming out with a lovely, again, reasoned, very well-worded response. Reaching out to Blizzard, saying, we can talk about this. We want to keep communication channels open, and if you are going to do something like this, please talk to us. We will listen and we'll understand, and we'll give our reasoned responses. And for the moment, Blizzard have the TSM team have taken the sniping function and left that off for the moment, just as a sort of almost like a gesture to say, here we go, this is something we can do to relieve it. But obviously, at this point, they plan to re-enable Sniper with TSM 4.10, as they've not heard back from Blizzard. So the jury's still out on that section. Rectal, good evening to you. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. How about yourself? So where does this leave us now after this long tale of sort of like hitting us hard with a throttle and then relaxing it back to not quite where it was before, but at least something that might help everyone out? So for many players, the reports are that the auction house itself is faster now, so that's obviously good. If it's helping the general player base, I'm always in favour of that, even if we take a little bit of a hit as a result, because the more players that are enjoying the game, the more players that are enjoying buying and selling things using the standard auction house, that means the more customers we have, and therefore we make more gold and have more fun ourselves. I do think when the community works collaboratively, we can get a nice middle ground faster. Absolutely, Edwards. Totally agree with them. Does it resolve the players camping the auction house, constantly cancelling and reposting? To some extent, even with the cancel scan throttle of 100, which it is at the moment, it is obviously still possible to cancel in small batches. So if, say, on reset day you wanted to just cancel your enchants, you could still do that. And if you really wanted to just keep on cancelling and reposting those, you could. So it doesn't really fix that issue. It's kind of the nature of how the auction house is set up, that people are incentivized to either, before the 8.3 changes, they were incentivized to undercut and be the cheapest possible, or with the last in first out system we have now, people are incentivized to cancel and repost so they're always the first one out. Andy Maggie, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well this fine evening. Just going through all the various aspects of the throttling that happened this week. You won't sell anything unless you cancel and reposts. As Harry Gamer said, especially when the markets are active, like on a reset day, you really do have to be the latest one, because the way the auction house is now, you have no choice but to buy the last and the cheapest item. You can't choose to buy something that might be a little bit more expensive, but is it a more convenient stack size? Those kind of days are gone, certainly. Stacking, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Been a while, it's lovely to have you here. Hope you've been good and had a lovely time so far. So a lot of the gold makers, both power users and casual alike, were upset by the way the hotfix was applied. It was a very heavy-handed approach, and the level of throttling was extremely restrictive, and the means of communication and feedback, I think, could be improved incredibly. This would be something I would like to see a channel opened between us as gold makers and Blizzard, so that we can at least talk about these issues and come up with solutions collaboratively. Especially with single items like glyphs, you have to be consistently posting and cancelling. Exactly, Edwards. I mean, I guess the other option would be to put it on for the minimum amount, which is what, 12 hours, and then maybe if you had a stock of 5 of each glyph, you would only post one at a time, and then every hour you just posted another one on, and you rotated them through like that, so you're doing less cancelling, you're just posting on quite regularly. That could be another option. So the system itself still favours those who are constantly posting on the auction house. It's always been kind of like the way with the game is time is money, and if you are going to spend 6 to 10 hours in front of the computer, either cancel scanning or doing other things to do with making gold, you will make more gold and get more sales than someone who only can post once a day, because that is just the nature of a certain amount of level of where the more time you put in, the more you get back from it. Oh, Canadian, raiding with a party 33. Thank you very much. How are you? How was your stream? Lovely to have you here. Welcome everyone from Canadian Stream. We are just going through the Wowhead blog, talking about all the things that happened this week with the auction house throttling. So we're just going through a summary as to how it started, where it went, and all the Blizzard posts and all the posts from the community members, and how we feel about it now in the situation it is currently in. Stream's awesome. How am I? I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Had a lovely weekend with my family. Obviously it was Father's Day today for us in the UK, so spent some lovely time with my children. We watched, what did we watch? We watched Justice League. I hadn't seen that before. That was a good film to watch with the family. Once I get the Bruto, I'm curious to try that. Give a different approach a go. Once you have the security of having the dinosaur, yes, definitely. The slow yam, thank you for the follow. You spotted Canadians camping the auction house at your spot in Booty Bay. Booty Bay is a lovely location. I might have to go back and visit there with some of my characters. Maybe a lock to items when you post them. They have to be on the auction house for at least an hour. Could limit the cancelling that is happening. For power counsellors, that would be bad. But yeah, I think that's also another good idea. Brumblefile. That could be interesting. But the problem with locking those items is that if you do list something and you either intentionally or unintentionally posted it at the wrong price, and you want to take it off as quickly as possible, you no longer have that option, which is kind of a shame really, because that's the whole point of cancelling, is to say, actually no, I didn't mean to put it on at that price, I could see it could go for a lot more, and so I'm going to take it off and post it on. Yeah, awesome, but the auction house guy and the two bankers keep dying. Yeah, that is the one issue of Office. It's, it's such a lovely tranquil location, so it's a shame that they do get killed from time to time, certainly. Yeah, maybe if there was a couple of minutes or maybe 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. Although then my fear would be that the more people do that, the more they will find those limits and then try and work within those limits, certainly. Or let players cancel only 5 auctions per hour. That would be quite hard for the general player. Certainly, if I had all my auctions, say I had about 250 auctions on, and they were close to expiring, and I was going to go and do something else. But before I wanted to go and do something else, I wanted to just literally cancel the lot and then come back. I would be limited with only 5 auctions per hour. Certainly, even if it was 100 auctions per hour. Wouldn't making it so the item on for the longest at a given price sells first fix the cancelling issue. What kind of repercussions for that be? The only one I can think of is literally that will encourage more people to undercut. So they will go and undercut, and it will be the same system as it was before, undercutting and undercutting and undercutting until you get to a price point. The unfortunate thing is with the system as it is at the moment, you can't choose who else you're going to buy from. You always have to buy the cheapest person. Justin Rose and Mushy, good evening both. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you both here. People are still constantly undercutting though, so there's no real difference. That is true. People still do like to undercut, that's for sure. Set the auction house back to the old system and set a posting cap per character, server and or Battle.net account line. They want massive posts by botters, free choice in the price you want to sell, and way less undercuts. That could be an option, Jack. I like this idea that someone else has been talking about introducing things like buy orders. I've linked to the actual Reddit post here. That would be quite interesting if you could have a system where there were other ways to sort of fix a certain price and then people can fulfill those buy orders. So it's a bit like a more automated system like we have in the trade chat, but it's something a bit more official, because people like myself, I don't actually like to use trade chat, but if someone had a buy order for a certain enchant or a certain set of bags or something like that, I'd be quite happy to fill those buy orders or something like that. Just massively improve your sales, and everyone can do it. Right now I'm doing 10 items at a time. I feel like I'm cheating. I guess there is that, certainly, having to sort of like change the way you're doing it, certainly. System as it is, they should have removed undercutting completely. That would be interesting though, but how would you set the prices in the market? Like the RuneScape system. I haven't seen that one, Modest Millions, but I hear it's something similar, yeah. Guild Wars 2, that was quite, but it's quite a fair system. I think that's what people were talking about in this buy order one, certainly. It would be interesting. I would be interested to certainly at least explore these ideas and find if there's something that we can maybe use from another game that does it slightly better, perhaps. But obviously we do have the system we have at the moment, and to be honest, I have a feeling that it's not going to change much from what it is at the moment. If the current throttling has taken the load off the Blizzard's auction house servers, I've got a feeling they'll just be happy to leave it as it is, certainly. So yes, if it does affect you, please do. Real money auction house. If it does affect you, please do. If you have any ideas and things like that, please do let me know in the comments on the Wowhead blog. It'll be lovely to hear what everyone says. I've been going through the threads that are on the Blizzard site and in the WoW economy, and it's been quite a lot to read. So I try to do as much as I can. You're doing a Midsummer Fire Festival. Oh, fantastic! I haven't actually looked at that myself. Other than, do we have a XP or leveling? Do we get the XP and rep buff for the Midsummer's Fire? I think we do, don't we? Casino in WoW gambling. That would be a slippery slope, Jack. I'm not sure that's something I would certainly like to see in the game personally. Or a cap on undercuts. That could be interesting. Maybe people will then just rapidly put undercut and undercut and undercut just to get to a price. That could be something. Me and a bunch of people at work are doing a VR poker night. Would be something. We'd love something similar in WoW. Like buying those inscription cards. I guess, yes, there is that, isn't there, certainly. We have, I think Metcat was in earlier, Justin Rose. Let me just scroll up. I did see Metcat at the beginning. Where was I? Yes, Metcat was in at the beginning. Dragon Age, good evening to you. Hope I'm doing fine. I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Suggestion for the excessive cancel scans. 1, freeze the cancelled item for a certain amount of time. Something like a global cooldown for auctioning. And then 2, charge an extra cancellation fee per cancelled item. I wonder if you could track that. Can you track something being multiply cancelled, I wonder? Interesting idea though, certainly. Still undercut, but surely the free to cancel bit will be outweighed by the profit making on having the market. Exactly, having the market is the main thing that people are all scrabbling to do, certainly. Just over 1.5 million needed for the Longboy. Oh, fantastic, Cow King, that's very close indeed. New camera? No, it's the same camera, it's just a different angle, Gumdrops. Lovely to have you here, Gumdrops. We've just been talking about all the throttling and the TSM post. I am actually downstairs again, but I'm not on the floor, I'm just over in the corner, so we're decorating upstairs in the bedroom, so I temporarily moved myself downstairs. What about crafting? That's also a gamble. That is true, Jack, very true. Your gold would be worth like €750. That would be interesting, wouldn't it, Mushy? If we actually turn this into real money, that would be a slightly dangerous, slippery slope, I think. Just make it so that you can't undercut. You can't undercut by more than 1 copper. That would be an interesting thing, though. But wouldn't people, instead of doing walls, they will do chains of auctions just to push a price down to a certain amount? It would be interesting. I'm not sure how it would work, certainly. Curb, good evening to you. Only sell them for 55 gold each. I'll play a poker game if it comes Magic Rooster. I bet you would, Jack, certainly. So all in all, I mean, the auction house at the moment is kind of okay in its current state. We wish Blizzard had communicated better and not sort of hit with a sledgehammer first and maybe started it off not quite so aggressively, and maybe we wouldn't have felt quite so out of the loop, certainly. Specific question about TSM strings. Are you able to set if statements in your strings, like with coding? You can. I don't use them much myself. Isn't it? I believe it's now I believe it's if greater than. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gumdrops. It's not one I use myself, but there are some sources that you can use and conditions in your operations. You can say if one thing is if one thing or not that, then another thing. There is something like that. And you can look at 2 prices. I don't use it a lot myself because I try to keep things as simple as I can. Simulation, good evening to you. Yes, that's it. So that's if greater than and if less than, isn't it? Too confusing. I tend to get a little confused by them, certainly. Recently swapped sides and server, finding it hard to get gold making going, but all my guides on YouTube are helping a lot. Thank you for putting the time to make those scrubs, for those scrubs like me. No problem at all, Kioria. I'm happy to help in any capacity, certainly. Came through and posted Peace Bloom for 10 million gold. Yeah, I mean, how will you be able to get the price down on that one, certainly. Admiral Pendragon, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens really with the auction house over the next sort of few sort of weeks as this settles down. And Pegleg TV, thank you also for the follow. Maybe Blizz didn't think they'd hurt the community as they did. Shadowlands Alpha has been good, so maybe it wasn't intentional. It could be. It could be. I think there was certainly an error in judgment in the way it was handled. Whether that's whether we can reach out to them and get some communication channels going, I think that would be absolutely fantastic if we could. So moving on, a couple of other points from the Wowhead blog this week. If all this talk of throttling and everything hasn't put you off making gold, Bregvids did an interesting video this week, just ranking the professions as he sees them and his opinion on what he thought was from best to worst. Interesting opinions here on this one. I don't necessarily agree with all of them myself, but it's nice to sort of see how someone else finds professions on their server and what they're looking forward to with Shadowlands. So if you are looking for sort of seeing what professions you might want to look into and you haven't got them all, then this is kind of like a nice idea as to telling you sort of like Breg's opinion on each of these. And then the other thing that happened this week was obviously the WoW Economy Reddit has been doing extremely well and managed to hit the milestone of 100,000 registered goblins. That in itself shows just how many enjoy or are interested in this aspect of the game. So it's absolutely wonderful community. And personally, I want to say a big thank you to all the gold making community for being the most positive and welcoming community in any game I've experienced. And I say that with all honesty. It's amazing just how well everyone comes together and talks about things, and they share their advice. Everyone's happy to help each other out. It's just it's really nice to see, especially when you see a lot of other communities are very sort of toxic and aggressive. And I think one of the things, even when something happens that we're not happy about, like with the throttling, it was lovely to see everyone rally together and be very sort of communicative and polite and say, look, this is the issue we're having, this is how we feel about it, and giving very thoughtful and reasoned responses. If full, compare with other full. If mid, compare with mid. Okay, you were doing the if statements. Okay, thank you. Isn't the best if I lean towards my second screen? Okay, thank you, Mushy. I know that I've got the microphone, I'm speaking across the microphone this time, whereas when I have it arranged the other way, I was speaking into the microphone, which is obviously much better, but thank you for that. I'll try and keep my head in one direction, certainly. Must be because of the Discord link you put in, the daily message of the in-game community. It could be that, Jack, definitely. Dimitri, good evening to you, and Fierceboy, good evening to you as well. So that pretty much wraps up the Wowhead blog for this week. I do hope you sort of leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear what you all think of the throttling, and please do sort of share any suggestions you might have for doing this another way, certainly. Charles Way, you've been there for first mine, of course. That's fair enough, Mushy. It's first and foremost my priority to make sure everyone can hear me well. So thank you for the feedback. Mind linking my TSM videos? There we go, Mage on Fire. Jack's got you covered then. Did I check the week warrior that you did with Jack? Idea on Discord. I did see it, Metcat. I haven't managed to try it out myself, but it does look very very interesting, putting all the cooldowns on a weak aura. I haven't looked at that yet, but when I read it I thought, yeah, that's a very good idea. Old world blacksmithing and like are worth it, even if the sale rate is like 0.01. I'm not sure. It's not a market I've tested myself, so I couldn't give you a definitive answer on that, certainly. But I'm sure there's probably some gems in there that people are after. Look for things that might be quest handings or something like that. I'm obsessed with cooldowns. Well, anything that helps people out is certainly a good idea. Right, let me just make sure I've not gone AFK here. And then we're going to go through and I'll go through, check my mailboxes for the week, and then we will go and restock on things as well. I'm not sure. What have you got work orders at the moment? Oh, we've got 20 Star Moss for 5 Expulsum. That could be interesting. We'll have a look at that perhaps. We're at 10 months, but absolutely loving it here. So much fun to see people work towards their goals and both ask for and give advice. Exactly, Tristan Rose. I couldn't say it better myself. Your bracelet shovel is great, but time consuming. It is very time consuming, so please do bear that in mind if you're thinking of it as a way to make gold. Only the harder to get patterns or turn-ins for missing blacksmithing transmog. Cool. Very nice check. So let's have a look at the mailbox first. Let's go through everything in its current state and see what gold I've made this week, even with all the throttling and everything. We'll go through my expires and deal with those. How am I doing for bag space at the moment? 71. That should be enough for the moment. We'll deal with those. Obviously, since the throttle, what I've done personally is I've reduced a lot of my auctions from 48 hours down to either 24 or 12. So I'm letting my things expire much quicker nowadays than I used to, certainly. 7 days, 700k off your Bristol now. The wall of the grind, but so close. That's so nice. When it's less than $1 million, that's definitely a good idea. Not a good idea. That's definitely a lot of incentive just to finish it off, certainly. Right, so I'm going to go through and I think everything's selected. Let me just check. Yeah, I'll run a post scan on everything. So it's nice to see it not throttled for posting scans. That's definitely a big improvement, certainly. Braces of Azeroth. This new limit of cancelling, is it 100 per hour per character? No, I don't think it's per hour at all. I think it's more like, I think, is it 100 per minute? I'm not sure. Yes, 100 per minute. Right, let's post this lot on. So it doesn't, it certainly doesn't, you don't hit that throttle and then have to wait forever to get it back. Right, we'll at least post this slot on. This all seems to be reasonably fast. Some interesting prices here. Might have to go through and check my auctions at various of them. See how this goes. Mephistra, resub with your Prime for 4 months. Thanks for all your streams. That's so kind of you. Thank you for your support. Really do appreciate that. Let's have a load of emotes for you. Thank you ever so much. With the new throttling Blizzard have implemented, but there's it'll be got less time to play the game that you enjoy. I think so. I think with the throttling as it stands, I don't think it's actually in terms of like it's only cancelling now. So maybe maybe that's the one area that if you are doing that heavily, you will find a result. But it shouldn't hopefully affect your regular game too much. Am I doing a Mythic Plus this stream? Unlikely, Alex, this time round. I tend to try and focus the Sunday streams on gold making and restocking and things like that. Leave the throttle. In your book, you can leave the throttle. I think so. Got it on my scribe. The mop shoulder enchants are really good sales. People buy them for their heirlooms. Oh yes, of course. I haven't done the shoulder enchants actually. That's a good idea. More squirrels to chase, as we did last time. Always like adding to my profession, certainly. It just feels so long. 100 per minute. Just a cancel of 100 takes like 35 seconds. Yeah, and then having to wait for the next lot is definitely hard. But you're not actually having to wait for that. It's just heavily throttled. So there is a you are still managing to cancel a few in that time before the throttle gets released again. Oh no, scroll alert. Barter, good evening to you. Privet, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. Also, times for change character help mitigate this weight in case of several ults. Oh, is that right, Mushy? But okay, so during the scan, I don't think I cancel during the scan anyway. That's the main thing. I would just wait for the scan and then I cancel. The same with 4.10 at the moment anyway. So I don't think I do it any differently to 4.95. So we'll just post this lot on first and foremost to see if I generate any sales, and then we'll have a look and see what we get at the end of this in terms of gold for the week. So let's go through that. Open up another load. I could possibly do with clearing my bags out a little bit better, because I've only got about 70 bag space, so I could probably do with increasing that a little bit more. That's what the throttle is now, is just stare for 25 seconds with nothing happening. I know it is frustrating doing a full cancel scan, definitely, when you hit the throttle. You feel like a very bold goblin, having reset the price of anchorweed on your server. Wow, that's very brave indeed. Very hard to hold the competitors. Yes, it all depends. You don't know how much stock someone's got, how many ults they've got, how many cooldowns they're doing. Daryl EX, thank you very much for the follow. Lovely to have you here. Alright, let's post another lot on. Can be Summer, good evening to you. Happy Father's Day to you and everyone who's celebrating it this week. You reset the Veil Crystal market, it cost you 44,000 gold. That's reasonable. I think that would be a good one to do. If you can control the tie spray linen, certainly. But that's better. That's better than not having to do the bracer show. Yes, the time is definitely money in that case. During the stream, you'll get 2/3 of your last 3 alts to 60. So only like 6 more classic dungeons, and then classic is done for your account. Wow, that's very strange. Have you ever considered making more characters on another server? Scratch that itch, perhaps. Farmers taking it easy this week. I think it's good to have a break, mix it up a little bit, certainly. Right, let's post this last lot on, and then we'll have a look at the gold after this. These two really need their prices adjusting. They're ridiculously high for my server. I don't think I'll get any sales with those, but you never know. Debating trying gold making on Alliance as well. Currently only playing Horde right now. I mean, that is useful if you've got a lot of the other faction and people are buying the Uncanny gear, because the Uncanny gear is faction fixed. So it all depends on what's on your server and what kind of market you're in. The rest of the things tend to be any faction can buy, as the auction houses are shared. But yes, it is an interesting choice when it comes to servers and factions, is to try the other side, certainly. Made a character on a full pop server and got yourself 2 June scavengers for 50k. On your server they cost 350k. Wow, that is a big difference. Right, let's have a look at the mail we have for this week in terms of sales. 86,000. That's quite reasonable, actually. It's not everything as well. 100 of 106. So we've been selling a fair amount of food, a little bit of tailoring there. Embroidered deep sea bags for 4,200. So that's the results of our mythic runs. Well, that's quite good. And hexweed bags, shadowweed masks, uncanny gear, some more uncanny gear there. So uncanny gear still selling. A few enchants thrown in there, not a huge amount of enchants. A reset on the Chords of Haste there, 9,000 gold back from that lot. A few netherweed bags, price has gone down to 11 gold now, so my reset on those prices hasn't held that long. Flying carpet's still quite cheap. Another reset there on Machinist Brilliance. More netherweed bags, hexweed bag. Hexweed bag's very cheap there at 404. I'd be tempted to buy a few of those up if they continue to sell at that price. But we don't know what's coming up in Shadowlands, so I'm a little bit cautious with that market. Some other things are quite good. Biltong there, 53 for 1,700. 1,726 netherweed bags sold in the last 282. That's a lot of bags. Did you make all of those bags as well, Moshi? Because they take so long to make. That's the one thing that I do struggle with. I mean, obviously I've sold quite a few here. This is my reset price, 37 gold. I set them up to I reset them to this price, and I did manage to get quite a few sales, at least there at 37 gold, and then they jumped right back down to 11 gold after that. You have Lizard. But if the uncanny stops, it would not be useful. What do you mean with that, Jack, in terms of if the uncanny stops? In terms of like if the uncanny sales stop, yes. Alliance dominated server, so new server, new faction. Right, okay. If the market is done, yes. It all depends whether there's something else in Shadowlands that replaces it that's different, certainly. So all got a few frostweed bags in there as well. So 86,000 in that lot. So we'll take that first page. I'll hold shift down just to open that page. The 86,000, and then we'll see what's in the other page, the other 6 items just at the end. Let that run through. See, these netherweed bags here at 10 gold was the old price of netherweed bags. That's why I reset them anyway. 8 well shower, cook, shop, whatever. Likely have a second full functioning account. That's a fair enough system, certainly. What else have we got here? Torrent of Elements and Tome of Illusions and some more netherweed bags. Okay, so it's another 1,000 gold there. I'll take all of those. That one doesn't seem to have come through. I think we've got that, so we can just delete that. Maybe it just needs to come back up. Might need a reload on that one. Let me just see. Oh, it's disappeared. Oh, I think I've done the reload anyway. Okay, we'll let that come through, and then we'll come back to it. Start them and walk away. Yeah, I guess I'm only making them in batches of maybe 4 to 8 at any one time, so I don't have the same issue either. There was something missing. I saw an uncanny bit of gear there that wasn't in the list. Let me just check that. That appeared in my TSM destroying. Satin boots of the Harmonious. Am I missing one in my list? Let me go to my group to tailoring and uncanny selling. Yep, we're missing one here. Satin boots. Add those in. And that will be done. So up to 359,000 gold. That's looking quite good. So we're up to 1.1 million at the moment. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher on my other characters. But it reminds you, only 7 left. Let's reset the netherweed market back to 1 gold each. Bought 30,000 Riverbud this morning because someone posted it dirt cheap. So AFK made inks for what seemed like hours. Yeah, I mean, if you can get some decent prices on your herbs, then they'll definitely be converted into something more profitable, certainly. AFK making inks. Yeah, Thagoras, I haven't quite got that that stage yet with my inscription, but I do see a lot of people doing that at the moment. So in terms of, I won't do the restocking on Samadan because it usually takes quite a while. So I'll leave Samadan at the moment, and we'll go through our other characters and check our gold on those. Our next character is going to be Awakening, who currently has a fresh Silas buff, so that's nice to have. We'll have a look. What I'll do is I'll first jump on very quickly. I'll go in. I'll do the cancel and the restock and the repost, and then I'll check to see if there's anything else I can do after that. I need to do my daily cooldown as well. So I'll just run through this quite quickly. If I do miss anything on chat whilst I'm running through this, I'll just focus on this for the next couple of minutes. Make the most of my buff. So we'll deal with the expires. Gold is looking quite healthy. 85,000 here. So similar to Samadan. Just get all of these out of here. Taking a little while to come through. Filling my bags up actually. 22, 20. We might not have enough space here for everything. Just enough? Yes, we have just enough. Okay, so 85,000 gold. I'll just open up all of that. Mainly a good stock of potions then. That takes me up to 297,000. So we'll post everything back on. And then we'll jump up and we'll have a look and see if there's anything we need to restock on. Waiting for Silas proc or the right thing making inks. They both seem to take forever. That is very true. Waiting on a Silas proc before you can make any alchemy does make the alchemy side certainly interesting. Doc Otter, good evening to you. And there'll be new bags in Shadowlands. I believe there are going to be a couple of bags. We don't know what capacity they are yet. Sure up. So we're going to go through and just check my auctions, and that's everything posted on. Then we'll go to alchemy, then we'll go to our groups, we'll restock those. Potion of Unbridled Fury, do I have everything I need for that? Looks like I do, so I'll go and make those. See if we can get some good procs. There's a ×4, ×2, ×2. That's a good start at least. We've got 9 minutes left on our Silas proc, so very decent as well. So 297 on Awakening, coming up close to 300,000 on a lot of characters here. So that's a good, healthy amount to have as a capital on each of the characters. Game Cat, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Just going to run through this, and then I'm going to post this lot on. Now that we've done the restock, I'll do my daily cooldown as well. So we'll close that down. We'll do the herbs to anchors, open up the bag of anchors, and I'll borrow No Money's Brutosaur as it's right in front of me, and I'll post the Unbridled Furies on, and then I'm going to log off as I am here and give myself those other 8 minutes for next time I log on. So we'll jump straight off there. So Carla, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. And what else did I miss? Not sure which was. We can finally start playing the game now. Yes, that's very true. Now on your last 300,000 for the Bruta, had an epiphany. Not sure what to do after you get it. Well, are there any other mounts you're after? That would be the next thing to do. Oh, that was for the finally start playing the game now. Yes, okay, I see the link. Happy time EU, 2k gold and emissary. After so many emissaries, they gave you only 200 war resources. Yeah, I did see that pop through. Not sure I'm going to do it myself. I don't tend to do emissaries unless there's going to be a certain amount of reputation that I'm going to need on my characters. I'll go through it and do all the gold making first and foremost. Just got a seal tome of the Lost Legion. Oh, excellent. Don't know what that does, but it sounds good. Right, let's have a look. Everything's going to have expired here, so it's fairly easy. We'll deal with those. We do have some reasonable amount of sales. Quite nice to see the War Scrolls. Since we upped the crafting amounts to 20, we're definitely seeing some more sales here. For some reason I sold some Crimson Ink. I don't remember putting that on, but we do have some sales of that as well, so that's quite good. Key Barrier, thank you very much for the follow. Primal Air, 899 each. You got 10 ready to go. Primal Fire is next. Wow, that's quite pricey. Okay, so we'll take all this. We've got contracts, 1 uncanny vessel, 3 uncanny vessels, Crimson Ink and War Scrolls. There we go. Warlock specific farm item that makes your spells fell green animations. It's BOE, so sales for. Ah, I see. Excellent. I'd be surprised at how many people buy inks because they can't bother to make them. Oh, I am surprised at that actually. The Crimson Ink going for 193. I didn't realise I had an operation that sold some, so I do need to just double check that. We'll have a look. Let me just post everything on. Maybe some Crimson Ink will come in here, because I have made some more Crimson Ink. Don't see any here at the moment under my list, so it doesn't seem to be there. Let's post all of these on at their current prices. Contracts, highborn compendiums, a few other bits and pieces. Uh, 28 gold, 5 per each. 31, 44 gold region price. Okay, that's a little bit cheap actually, isn't it? Looking at that, let me have a look. Where's my bags? Crimson Ink. I might put it all in the bank actually. Looking at it, that could explain things. Let me just go have a look, see what I've got. have a look, and we'll see if we can get to this bottom of this mystery. How my sales are going for inks? Mine have fallen crazy for the past month. It's not something I've been selling. Is the first thing. That's what surprises me about this. Oh no, they won't be in here. They'll be over here. Let's head on over. So yeah, we do have crimson ink here. I've got 1,390. They don't appear to have a operation on them, so I don't know why they would have gotten posted on in the first place. Interesting. I'm going to post. I'm just going to take 10 in my a stack in my bags and see if anything happens there. Oh, there's a Blingtron. Say hello to you. There we go. And we'll just go and have a look here. Any gold making opportunities from the Midsummer Fire Festival? Not that I know of, actually. If anyone does have any ideas, please do let me know. So no, there's none here, definitely. Templar Creus, having an issue with using my Super Shuffle bracer strings. Apparently you're missing to set average buy on misscale, but can I get it to show up in crafting reports mats? So that's an interesting one. You should have it if you go into crafting reports, materials, missed scale should be on there. I mean, I've changed mine to smart average buy because that's a TSM 4.10 thing, but that should work the same. Never wait, always go up, always up when you come around. Someone's resetting my inks. Sell now. Oh, right. Buy the pets. 2 of the pets. 1 WoW token on EU. Oh, right. Okay. Is that 3 Niffy or is that E Niffy? But good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. It's worth to invest so much time for a pet that loads of others will farm and sell. That's the trick, really. How much will people be getting it, and how much will it sell over the course of the year? It's not doing that for you, and you don't know why. That is an interesting one. Excuse me. My only other thought is maybe buy some misscale up and see if TSM can re-register it being bought, and you have some in your bags. No, I didn't see that, Dressing Rose. Right, let's have a look where we're at with this. Okay, that was done. We posted everything on. Yes, we did. So let's look and restock on this one. TSM will not show if you have a crafter using it. Oh right, so if you don't have a craft that uses that, so if you don't have a leather worker, it won't show up. Ah, okay. That makes sense, okay. Even try to transmute it. Okay, that's very, very strange. Will, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. And Bella Garcia, good evening to you. Oh, let's go have a look. Of course. Oh my word. Today's weekly clear result. That is... Oh, right, there's more. Okay, let's have a look. Hold on. This is brilliant. Let's go have a look at this. Let's scroll this up a little bit more. Let's read this one out. Alright, Bayleaf, let's get back to the family. I'm sure they worked hard on that fur while we were gone. Delighted grunt. What happened while we were gone? That's a lot of sumptuous fur. We have 200,000 and 118 sumptuous fur at the moment, Mum. That's a... I love that. That's brilliant. Fantastic, Drizzling Rose. Really like that. Is there more? Is there going to be a series of them? Probably argue for every person who does farm the pets, hunters won't even realise where they come from. I mean, I'm not a pet person, so I wouldn't have noticed for sure. Where I'm at today in my house, I've changed location. That's right, Dog Potter. I am in the living room, near where I used to sit down over there, over behind. But I'm actually sat on the. I've taken over the dining room table at the moment because we're decorating upstairs. Neville, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Ate it this morning. Ah, fantastic, Dressing Rose. Really good to see things like that. Let's go and just do a restock whilst I'm here. Let's look at that, and then we'll go through, and then we'll do crafting. Restock. Okay, 20 war scrolls of fortitude, a couple of etched vessels. So we do need some expulsum. We have 3, we need 3. Now, hopefully, that expulsum isn't. Yes, it is up. There it is. 20. I've got 11 of 20 star moss. What's the price of star moss at the moment? I bet you it's gone up in price. Star moss is currently actually a reasonable 6 gold 70. That's not too bad. So I'm going to buy some of that at that price. I probably only need a little bit for the moment. I'll buy 100 for now. We can mill the excess. But then we can pick that up, and then we'll go and do our daily quest turning, get ourselves another 5 expulsum. Need to do that on my leather worker and other character as well, so we can probably just buy that directly. When you saw you got over the 200,000 mark, you got inspired to make a comic about it. Maybe something to put it in the WoW blog. You can certainly do a link to it, yeah, if you're going to do a series of them. Let's go through here. Star moss, we'll take that. 5 expulsum, which will be useful. Ultramarine pigment, I don't think I really need. What would that give me? Inscription and 137 gold. That might be worth it, actually. Ultramarine pigment is. Let's have a look. Ultramarine pigment is. Oh yeah, it's only mat cost of 4 silver, so I'll do that. That's worth doing as well. There we go. Many bugs with TSM Alpha, not many at all. It's very, very smooth going at the moment. So how is the adjusted throttling? At the moment, I'm finding it absolutely fine, Neville. I'm not encountering cancel scans because I've kind of refrained from doing them. I really want to buy exact quantity for the auction house shopping. Yeah, it's a lot. There's lots of very nice features. Yeah, you only notice the throttling if you cancel big amounts, as Mushy says. You learn how to import other players, then you can make them with guests in the background. That's a nice idea too. I don't know when the estimated 4.10 release is. It's that's up to the TSM team. If they want to, they can have less people who do cancel scanning reverse. They need to put a 1 hour before the mail come back, as Bill has suggested. Yes, I think as we talked about, that would be a reasonable idea, along with the caveat that they don't have the same limit when your things are about to expire. Have they changed it so the number is red if you don't have the mats? It's red in the tooltip. I've not seen it if it's in here. Let's have a look. Not here. Let's go here. So I'm missing some maroon ink. So at the moment we don't have the number on here. So I have to go over the actual tooltip itself. So there hasn't been a change yet. But it would be nice if they do that. I think that would be definitely useful. So for this I need quite a lot of maroon ink. According to this, the maroon ink would cost me to make, looking at that, gathering wise maroon ink, my mat cost is coming in at 30 gold. That's a lot. That's based off my average buy price of Zenithid, I think, and the price of Zenithid has gone down a lot. So let's have a look at this in a little bit more detail. Where is my maroon ink? Comes from the maroon pigment. And if I look at the maroon pigment, where is it? Is that for the top? Mass melt Zenithid? Yes, it is. So this is my mat cost of Zenithid is 18 gold. Now that's based on that price, and my smart average price is 18 gold, so it's not that. So it's actually Maroon ink, according to this, Maroon Pigment is coming in at 30 gold for my Maroon Pigment. Why is that so pricey? Let me just have a look at this in a little bit more detail. Might have to scratch my brain a little bit on this one. Maroon ink is telling me crafting cost 20 gold. Crafting cost is based off of, oh no, that's materials. Wrong one. Maroon Pigment is the minimum between either DB min buyout or the matte price times 100 divided by 61, which is like 0.6 basically of that, because basically for the Maroon Pigment you get, if I have a look at this, Maroon ink from the Maroon Pigment, let me just work my way through this. Massmel Zenithid, Zenithid's 18, Maroon Pigment's telling me matte cost 30, the Maroon ink we get from here, how many do we get per 20 is the question. I'm not sure whether this is right at the moment. It should be right, but there's something missing in the numbers here, and I'm having trouble getting my brain to work out where the difference lies on this. I mean, according to TSM, the price of the Maroon Pigment is 70 gold, and the Maroon ink at 20 gold, that definitely seems too cheap. Let me just have a look at that. Maroon ink. So 20 gold seems ridiculously cheap for Maroon ink, considering the milling cost of it is 30. So it would make sense to buy all of these out at this price. Unless I'm doing something definitely wrong, please do shout at me in chat before I do this. But I would be buying these all up to this point. It's cost me 24,000 gold. I have 127. But that to me, given that the Maroon Pigment is 30 gold, the Zenithid price is correct. So the price of the Zenithid is reasonable. But this Maroon ink at 20, I would say, seems, and my Zenithid's at Zenithid is 19 gold. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Maroon ink is Zenithid times times 1.7. Is that right? Times 1.7? I thought, do you not get more Maroon ink per Zenithid? Uh, 12 Maroon per 20 Zenithid. So it's slightly more expensive, okay, which is why we divide it by, it's divided by 100 times 0.61, isn't it? If that's the correct one. Yeah, okay, I'm going to buy this. Eternal Auctioneer. I spent too long dithering. Let me just rescan that and try that again. Buy commodity. There we go. That's a great deal for me. Okay, I'll take it. So 600 Maroon for 1,000 Zenithid. That doesn't, my brain has trouble working that one out, isn't it? So Maroon will be more expensive than the Zenithid, isn't it? Someone's been very busy. They have indeed. Well, I bought them now anyway, so that's always good. So we'll take those and add those to my list of things, and then we don't need to craft anymore. Yeah, it was 20 gold, basically, the Maroon ink, whereas my Zenithid price is currently at 18 gold 90. My smart average buy price is 18.89. So basically the Maroon ink should be more expensive than the Zenithid. That would be a good buy, definitely. Watching Samadan servers like playing WoW in a minigame. Literally limited supplies on every materials. It's very interesting, this server. It's very interesting indeed. So if the maroon ink was 20, then Zenithid would be like 12 gold to break even. So that was either very cheap Zenithid that someone was able to get, or that maroon ink was priced certainly lower. Okay, well that's brilliant. That saved me a little bit of gold. We've got enough to make things here. So gathering wise, I seem to have a mental block when it comes to inks and pigments and calculating prices. For some reason, I always seem to struggle to get my head round the extra stage that goes into it. Yeah, and it saves me time as well. 1800 versus 1200. Right, so that's a big difference. 18,000 versus 12,000. Yeah, 18,000 versus 12,000. Wow, that's a good saving indeed when I bought that much up. Okay, so let's craft up the things we've got. We'll go through and make all of these. Some War Scrolls of Fortitude coming our way. And then some contracts. It's actually got maroon ink here in my crafting queue. I don't need to have that now, so I'll keep that off for the moment because we bought so much. There we go, and then we can go post that lot on, and then we can move on to our next character. Run a post scan. So War Scrolls, Uncanny, and other bits. There we go. All those going on. 102,000 we have now, so we did spend a little bit of gold doing that, but I think that was definitely worth it. So moving on to our next character, let's go have a look. So we'll need to remember to do the expulsum on these characters definitely, so we might need to buy some more star moss. Maybe if I bought some star moss and pop it in the guild bank, or if I just keep buying it in 20s for these characters. Some parts good, some annoying. It's like Shadow Song is trying to act like it's a big boy server, but doesn't have the numbers demand. Sold a stack of the Vision Fish, 287 gold per yesterday, but dredged leather you can't sell for the life of me. Very strange world, isn't it? Think of it, getting delayed delivery on cancel mats will not solve the issue of getting posted above at least commodities. People can just have a buffer of commodities that they rotate after cancels. Yeah, I think, Neville, that would happen a lot. Right, a load of expires here. We're also in Dalaran, so we need to head over to Borealis to get the expulsum as well. Darkwing, bonjour to you. Ça va? And Marsburg, good evening to you. Lovely to have you here. Takes an hour as well. I think that would diminish it. It would, but it would be a real shame if that happened and your auctions were just due to expire. So we do have a few sales here. Nothing massive. A little bit of Uncanny. Uncanny's really cheap there at 374. Drums of Fury. Leather arm guards there is quite good at 1,400. So at least we've got some things there. 7,000 takes me up to 245,000. We also need to go, let's go over to, I might as well Hearthstone actually. That'll be easier. Go and pick up that expulsum. Have I just started? No, I've been going an hour and 20 minutes so far. Just picked up 10,000 tri-spade linen to craft some braces. Good luck with that. That's a long process to go through, but I feel your pain. Right, more star moss needed. Let's go and buy ourselves some star moss. Don't believe I have any on me, so we'll go and browse for these recent searches. Star moss, still at 670, so I'm going to take 20 and buy those.
If you find anything exotic,
pick those up.
bring it to me.
All bought, and then let's head on round. Don't want any sauce on potatoes. New TSM. This is TSM 4.10 alpha, and it's looking fantastic. can I start buying good evening and how are you in Swedish? That could be interesting. Lizelle, good evening to you, and thank you very much for resubbing. 7 months total. That's sorry to be so late. More, no problem at all. It's lovely to have you here. Actually, a whole lot of emotes for you. Thank you so much indeed. Very kind of you. Love potatoes of every variety. Yeah, me too. Had 110,000 tie spray. Finally got myself down to 60k. Can't do it all in one go. No, that's a huge amount to do in one go. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Right, let's take the Expulsum. That'll be good. I think not really because the large seller have a buffer of say 4 times the amount of what they plan on selling, and then just post a new batch every time they cancel, and they'll get undercut. Yeah, they'll just keep rotating it through. People will find a way to circumvent any sort of limitation like that, certainly. Right, so have we actually posted everything on? Let's have a look. We're on a post scan. Okay, let's get our stuff on, and then we can do a restock on this. Keep on slouching in this chair. Do we have any tips for leveling BFA blacksmithing without going broke? I guess no, not really. Other than farming the materials up yourself, I pretty much went in and just threw money at the situation. I was glad I did, because I got my blacksmithing up to a good start, and I've certainly made enough money back, because I'm currently sitting on a good couple of 100,000 on blacksmithing already. It's only other thing I can think of is keep checking your auction house for the materials you need and trying to get them at a decent price would be the other thing I could think of. Right, let's move around here. What else do I need to do? I need to just check for restocking. Check my auctions and then check in. Oh, we've got our burnished leather cooldown as well, don't forget that. So let's go through here. Leatherworking bags, restock on those. Nothing for gathering, so we can go ahead and make these male arm guards, as we sold quite a few of those. It depends on the price of those, but it is a small profit, so I'll still go with that. And then we'll go through, we'll do that whilst we're here. Burnished leather, we'll take that. Another 20 of those, sorcerous earth and water. And then we can go through and post everything else on that we've just made. Auctioning, run a post scan. Do I plan on making any more classic TSM guys? Not currently, extant, because simply I haven't played classic in a long time. I wish I had the time to be able to play classic and regular WoW, but I simply just don't have time to do that and have a full-time job and do the streaming and the Wowhead blog and spend time with my family as well. Oh, card stats. I have so far opened 375,000 cards, earned 1.7 million, average 4.7, average is down 30 silver since last week. Still very good, very good. Right, let's go through those. That's all done. Everything is everything posted on. I seem to have a few other bits of stuff here that hasn't been added to our list. So let's go to our group and go to our leatherworking, uncanny selling. Let's add in those two, as they're missing on the list. I'm going to run a post scan on those, and we'll get those on. Okay. Moving on to the next character. War Scrolls are so profitable at the moment. You need to buy some more herbs. AFK ink making. Yeah, the War Scrolls are doing very well. I didn't realise they sold in quite so many volumes. So that's my main issue there with War Scrolls, is like I said, getting the inks to then make the War Scrolls. My current guys helped greatly, thank you a lot. Well, you're more than welcome, I'm glad they were useful. New streaming, yes, as in Andy did. We are basically in the living room now, so change of location whilst we're decorating upstairs. So it's a slight change of scenery. Alright, how are we doing on gold here? 32,000 on blacksmithing. Currently sitting at 258,000. So again, some reasonable sales of blacksmithing. Don't really have to think too much about blacksmithing. It does tend to just generate gold as it needs it. The uncanny sales going through strongly still. Cutlass, shield, more cutlass, and another shield. So it's mainly the weapons and shields that sell for me at the moment. So 32,000, I'll take that. That takes me up to 291,000. We'll buy ourselves some star moss whilst we're here. So we'll buy another 20. There's no point trying to reset the market on these, I don't think. Don't think there's huge margins here, considering where we're at. So I'll just go through and buy these, and then go and do the quest, and get ourselves some more expulsum. They've gone up in value, but crafting prices stayed the same. Tested the water and made about 80 of each. Pretty much sold them all within 24 hours. Wow, okay. So maybe a little bit more than 50, more than 20 that I currently have would be useful. So that's another load done. Do we need to repost everything on? We do, so we'll go through here and we'll repost it all on. Tomes are a good one too. Legion and BFA ones sell like crazy. I haven't found too much with the tomes at the moment. A little bit, perhaps. Need to factor X in your posted, where X is the amount of times you would cancel every hour. I doubt most gold makers would post a significant part of their inventory every time they post. Thinking about common commodities, consumables. Legion ones for crafting costs. Sell for crafting costs on your server. Oh, okay. Interesting. Maybe what they can't make up their minds. Maybe, Edwards. Excuse me. Every server does have its own little niche, certainly. Right, let's have a look here. Do we need to restock on anything? Let's go to crafting, groups, blacksmithing, a shield and a couple of cutlasses. Gathering wise, we have everything. We just need to head over to this area, and then we can craft these. The shield and the 2 cutlasses. Just double check that all fire flashes. That's interesting, a random number on those. Let's go through and just post those on if we can. And let's get through browse, no browse, auctioning, run a post scan. Let's get that on. 1750 more burning blossom needed. So that's 2 characters doing everything. That's a lot of burning blossom. Okay, fire flash is on, so hopefully we can get some good sales of those. And everything else is done on this character. So again, we're in a good place here. So we don't have to do too much to get them going. How are we doing on gold in terms of totals? We're sitting at 1.3 million now. El Morte's at 289, Samadan's 102, Awakening 297, Samadan's at 359, and Earthen at 244,000. So of those, I would say the strongest ones at the moment, Samadan at 359 with the 3 professions, cooking, tailoring and enchanting, and followed second by Awakening at 297,000. Closely followed by El Morte at 289, Earthen slightly less at 244, and Samadan with inscription at 102. That needs glyphs to get itself into a decent state for inscription before we get anything more. And obviously those are singular professions, all of those, whereas Samadan is doing 3 professions. So those individual professions probably aren't as strong. So I would say, looking at that, alchemy is probably still the strongest. Hillian, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Just got the vanilla inscription to 300. Some good selling glyphs in there. That's the plan for me with Samadan, is to go through and get them all going. Certainly. As a Raider and Mythic Plus player, you can always changing your talents. Sometimes you use different talents for each boss in a raid. For example, in Prophet Skitra you need to take Mass Roots, but on Hivemind you need to take Bash. That's one tome, assuming you don't start with Typhoon, meaning you need 2 tomes. Interesting, Real Genie. I didn't think or realise people changed so much even during raids. That's interesting to know. You take different talents for every single dungeon. Sometimes depend on which dungeon. Sometimes depends on the group makeup. Sometimes depends on affixes. Wow, that is a level of gameplay that I wasn't aware of. I tend to fire and forget when it comes to mine. I very rarely change them. Right, let's move on. Done this one, done this one. Let's go check the last one. Is it only you where Sam sound is lower than normal? It might be because I've changed my setup, Drizzling Rose. I wonder if there's been a Windows setting or something like that where the volume's changed, because I obviously plugged everything in differently when I moved the PC downstairs. So it could be that it's simply just gone down a little. I could try and have a look in the properties. Let me have a look. I check my filters. That should be... My gain is currently at 7 decibels, I think. It could also be the position of the mic. I'm speaking across the mic more whilst I'm reading text rather than directly into the mic. I might change with the positioning a little. See if I won't fiddle with it during the stream. So it's probably my setter. Normally on 10, but it needs to be on 20 to hear me clearly. Oh, okay. So it's quite a bit different. Is the music okay in balance? Are you having to? Is it getting drowned out by the music in the background? In which case, I'll definitely increase the microphone volume. When you did Mythic and Legion, you changed like almost every boss. Chance had like 4 different gear sets for all kinds of bosses. Wow, that is a level of min-maxing I didn't realise people did. Excuse me. Right, let's do a herbs to anchors. Let's do a bag of anchors. There we go. Fell slate anchor all automatically got destroyed. And then we'll go open up my expires. 2,400 gold on mainly anchorweed and a couple of insulated wiring there. 328 for 124 gold. Chemical blasting cap, that's a good one. Nylon thread, a few of those. So some good sales, and then obviously anchor will be doing quite well as well. So that takes me up to 34,000 on this character. Let's go and post that lot back on. The music is a bit louder. Okay, so that means that the mic has probably gone down a little bit. Probably in my mic settings, I imagine. So let me just increase the gain by a little bit. We're currently at 7. Now I've changed that up to 9. So hopefully that's a little bit higher without being too high with the gain and everything. And then I'll have an investigation into why Windows might be slightly different on that front. Maybe an idea for when I update my paste bin, add a picture or document with a group structure I'm using. Been looking into using people's groups just for the IDs. Now I need to import, check structure. Be handy to see before you import. Okay, Darkwing, thank you for that suggestion. Currently at 2.6 gold, and there's a lot of it up. I think someone did a server transfer earlier. Wow, 2.6 gold. That is very tempting. Hold on, hold your horses. Let me get my... that's a squirrel and a half. Let me get my... What do I need to do? IBFA herbs we don't do. Nothing on at the moment. So let's post everything on, first and foremost. So I'll get, yeah, 289 is good for Shadow Song, definitely. So let's have a look. So that's my auctions. Let's go to the vendor and let's go to our group and buy groups. Get some extra things there to post on, and we'll post those on. Browse auctioning, host scan, and then we'll go through there and do that. Okay. Bought 10k for your needs this week. Yeah, I think that's definitely worth it. Let's have a look. Let's go over. and check on Samadan. So Samadan, we haven't done a restock on Samadan yet either, and I haven't checked my other characters, Bridget and Feng Shu, so we'll have a look at those as well. Best customers for tomes are raiders, and the best customers for war scrolls, people that run Mythic Plus, although some raid teams could use missing a mage. Oh, we just sold Mark of the Trained Soldier for 947. That's good. Nothing in the mail yet. So let's have a look at this. Let's look at some mats. Deep Sea Satin is looking very cheap at the moment. That's definitely taken a dive in prices. Now that's also interesting. Coarse leather at 2 gold 44. That's even cheaper than the Tide Spray linen. Bloodstained bones are at 5 gold 30. So I'm going to put that into the spreadsheet, these prices. Let me just have a look. Bracer shuffle, because I think we would need to actually have a look at these prices in a bit more detail if I was going to change these. So looking at this, Tide Spray, oops, no, let's move that across to the side. Then I can move this one to this side. So Tide Spray linen here is, where's the Tide Spray linen? Yeah, 289, 2.89 for that. I'll do the same for DV Market for the moment. Iron Thread's the same, but I'm just going to look at the Bloodstained Bone, which is currently 5.3, and then the Coarse Leather coming in at 2.44. 2.44. So it is telling me a Tide Spray Bracer is cheaper at 31 gold 50 for the Tide Spray Bracer versus the Coarse Leather Arm Guards at 35.84. Shimmer Scale at 3 gold is not going to be competitive at this point, even if I change that in at 3. So now we're looking at Shimmer Scale at 39 per bracer, looking at all of those. So if we were to look at this, assuming my Accords and everything else were the same price, looking at that, is it worth it? Only just, but also step 3. So I would say it would be worth buying some of this Tide Spray at this price for 31, because that will feed my Expulsum for all my other characters. So I definitely think that would be worth it. So let's just have a look at this Tide Spray linen. How much we got? 18,000 at 289, and then 35,000 at 298. Well, I'm going to take everything at 289. That would cost me 54,000 gold to take that. That's a good start. So let's start with that. Did that all go in one go? Looked like it did. How's my bag space looking? Because it's about to get filled up. Tide Spray Bracers. Let's open that up. There we go. Here comes the Tide Spray. Someone's going to be busy next week. Coarse Leather and Shimmer Scales are very easy to farm. It's the Bloodstained Bones that should be more. Just bought 5,000 Zenithid for 20k. Love these prices. 5,000 Zenithid for 20k, so that's what... how much is that for Zenithid? Is there a link to the spreadsheet? Oh, there we go. Mushy's got it for you. Shuffle. That's why I bought those herbs that cheap, but there's also bottles among them. You think it might be, it's difficult to tell really. Sometimes. You never know. Would have done that yourself, but don't have that capital. I'm sure, well, the good thing is there is still some here at a reasonable price, just a little bit higher at 290. You don't really do PvP. What's the quickest way to get 5 marks of honour? Well, the only way really is PvP. If you want to wait around for Comp Stomp, we've got the pre-VP Brawl coming on the 24th, the Temple of Hot Mogu. If you can at least get that, then you'll get the quest from that. But then beyond that, you want the PvP Brawl Comp Stomp which is this one here on August the 5th. Comp Stomp, which is much easier to do. So you want to watch out for the 5th of August. Tegnaro, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Right, let's get over here and find a place to park all of this tide spray. Let's shove it in the bank.
Shall we talk business?
Got a load here already. TSM, put tide. That's TAM/TSM, put tide. In it goes. There we go. And I've got the net there. I need to keep that. There we go. Nope. Just want all of it. There we go. Melapegoriduroen. Wow. Thank you very much for the follow. That is a mouthful and a half a name. Lovely to have you here. You took the last 200,000, 200 tie spray for 290. Okay, Silent Mouse, fantastic. I'm not going to say that again, Jack. They wouldn't want to sell raw mats directly, but rather sell consumables, not to tank the prices too much. Rather sell the consumers to not tank the prices. That's a good idea, and then you're also adding value onto things, which is definitely worth it. Thanks for the tie spray tips. No problem, Silent Mouse. Glad to be of service. So let's just get the rest of it, because we've still got a fair amount here. So let's take, open up all of that. Now we need to find somewhere to throw this. I've got a feeling my guild bank's fairly full at this point. So I'm not going to spend the rest of the stream doing this, but we will have to process all of this at some point. In terms of where my guild bank is looking, we got a fair amount of bloodstained bone, which is quite good. We got that at a reasonable price, smart average price of 486. So we're going to keep that for when we get some coarse leather for Earthen. I mean, that might be a good idea for Earthen anyway. Looking here at the... Let's just clean this out. We've got a little bit of sorceress stuff here. Let's see if we can put a little bit more of enchanting bits and pieces away. Tidal core we're keeping. Shard crystals, I'll pop those away. I want to keep the infinite dust we can get rid of. We'll put that down there. And then I'm going to take those netherweave bags. We've got quite a few netherweave bags in here. So I'm going to take that out. They're all scattered everywhere, as is the way when you just throw things in. And then we'll replace that with some Drainic dust and some sorcerous air, water and earth, as well as, I think that's everything. Don't think there's anything else that I can put in here that's enchanting. Oh, we do have some bits down here. Temporal crystals and a load of fractures. We'll need to convert those first. So let's just go through and convert those fractures that we've picked up over time. Convert those to temporal crystals. Sorry, I completely missed the whole conversation. Legal as long as you don't use botting is not legal at all. I would agree with that. There's a distinction between the two, and they are very different things. When you are multi-boxing, you are still using one action to control your characters. Oh, we sold something. That was the Mooncloth Robe. Oh, fantastic, for 2,000 gold. Haven't sold one of those in a long time. When did I last sold? Look at that. I last sold a Mooncloth Robe 340 days ago. Wow. That's been a long time coming. I used to sell them quite often. I mean, I've sold 8 in the whole of BFA. I used to sell them quite frequently in Legion. Wow, that's good. Well, it does sell eventually, that's for sure. Will I make it again? I most likely will, yes. I mean, my listing fees, I didn't think about that actually. Selling that for 2,000, I don't know what my listing fees would be for a year. That's going to be very interesting. You don't bother. I mean, I like to make clothes that I think people are going to want. So as a tailor, it is appealing for me to do that. But that's maybe just me. Frostweave bags are there, netherweave bags are there, temporal crystals will pick up, ethereal shards and large prismatic, and just a little bit of room there. The last one, I'm trying to fill this up with enchanting bits and pieces. Let's go through and sort that, just mix that up a little bit. There we go. Even if you break even just for roleplay reasons, exactly. I like the thought of Samadan being the tailor. It's always been kind of the profession I like on Samadan. And craft 2 of everything that's profitable. Don't have the patience to list 800 crafted transog. That's true. I mean, I don't have a huge amount. What's missing here? Seems to be missing one in my sort. I've got an icon, but I don't have anything here. That's interesting. Did I pick something up by mistake? I must have accidentally clicked on that because it's all changing. I'll wait for the sort to finish and then we'll pop this on. Unless Sushi Sort is reorganising things for me. There we go. Okay, sorted. There we go. We'll pop that back down there. Whatever that was there. And then looking at cloth, we do have a few bits of bags in here, so I'm just going to move. What else have I got missing here? I've got some Legion stuff here, some Leylight shards. Best way to organise this, I'm going to probably put any cloth that I've got spare, like some deep sea satin, in here. I've got more bags on me. I've got 12 bags on me. That should be okay for the moment. Then I'm going to start putting stuff in here once I start putting the tie spray linen away. That's the main thing I want to avoid, is filling this up with tie spray linen. Ideally, I want to pop all the tie spray linen over somewhere like here. I seem to have a whole load of mage weave here as well. So let's try /tsm put tied. Let's see what we can put in the gill bank. Now it tends to, with the gill bank, it pops it all. It looks like it might be putting it in this tab. Sometimes it doesn't put it in this tab, it puts it in all the previous tabs. But I'll let this just run through and we'll throw it in here for the moment. What's this one? Scroll of unlocking. Okay, that's interesting. I could probably try and sell those. There's probably not much point having those there. Let's just keep on putting all this stuff up. Since it's Father's Day, dad jokes are allowed? Yes, certainly, Darkwing. You got 2 paddles. Your neighbour kept playing the game, playing the same Lionel Richie song over and over, full blast, yesterday evening. Normally I wouldn't mind, but it was all night long. Like to be a consistent scribe. What was that? Did I miss that? Further up. Question: what add-on do I use to sort my gill bank? It's called Sushi Sort. I think sort. There you go. There's the link to that add-on. Very useful one, that. So whilst I filled up this tab, did I actually fill up the other ones? No, I didn't. That's very useful. Sometimes I worry when I fill the bags up that they go into the wrong slot. So I'm going to pop some more netherweave bags in here, I think. Just 4 of those. I'll keep 8 on me for relisting. So that's all good. That's all good. So we've got the tie spray linen parked safely there. A whole load of Spirits of Harmony. Excuse me, the price of those has really plummeted of late. Look at that, down at 75 gold. My average purchase price is 96 gold. So I'm not sure, until I start converting these into living steel again, I won't be making use of those. No problem, Keep Arrow. Alkarin, good evening to you. Greetings from Turkey. Greetings to you. I hope you're having a lovely evening so far. So let's go and have a look. I need to do some restocking on this character now that we've cleared out our bags somewhat. 82 should be fine for the moment. That's the server transfer again, the spirits. The Spirits of Harmony, it could be, although I've seen an increase basically since 8.3 came out. There's been a lot of people, I think, getting Spirits of Harmony just through doing their Heretic Vision things and things like that. Why do people still buy your 310 dual crafting rings? You don't get it. It's basically if they've got a fresh 120 and they want to get their item level up high enough to at least start getting the rest of the gear. It's an easy and quick way of doing it, I guess. So, looking at Samadan, let's just check my auctions. We need to do a restock here, so let's have a look at my auctions. We have a few sales so far. Mooncloth Robe, a couple of enchants, which is nice. So we'll go over and we'll restock on these. This usually takes me a little while to do all of these, so we'll go through those. And we've got a fair few here, 20,000 profit estimated. So in terms of gathering, let's select all my professions. And most of this is okay from the guild bank. We do need 6 Blood of Sargeras looking at this. So first and foremost, let's have a look at that. Oh, we've still got the star moss here to do. So let's collect up some more of that whilst I'm here. It's still cheap, so we'll buy the 20. There we go. And then we'll move over, collect up another 5 expulsum. Excuse me, my throat's getting a bit croaky. How do your wife take over the alchemy portion of your gold making? She is a max level alchemy, and you supply her with the mats until you get to max level alchemy with your 92. Very nice, Hillian. Sharing the gold. And you managed to get about 2.5 million worth of spirits on your server, your realm. You managed to get 45,000's worth. If you can convert that into living steel, then it's definitely a good bargain, depending on the prices of both. Right, so there we go. That's star moss done, and the expulsum collected. So looking at this, we need to get most of this stuff from the guild bank, but we were looking at Dalaran was the next thing I was looking at here. So in terms of what we want is a nice, there's a couple of 3s here, silkweave braces, and laystone. Oh, laystone ore is going to be expensive. Not sure I fancy that one. Let's just reduce this down in terms of rewards. Let's scroll all the way down. So there's a single blood there, 3 there. We need 6, so that would have been ideal really to get those. Obviously we can convert order hall resources at this point. I don't tend to like doing that too much. I'd rather go and collect them up. So I'm thinking the work order silkweave braces for the moment, that could be handy. But it depends on the price of laystone ore for this one. 40 laystone ore is quite expensive. So laystone ore, how's that looking? Oh, actually it's not too bad, 748. 748, 782 is the average. We actually have, Earthen has 144 in the bank already, so Earthen could supply us with those. That would be an easy enough transfer. Oh, did I miss Cat? Hold on. Good night. Okay, night, Cat. Hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. Goldens and Panthers are better prices on your realm, so we'll be set for a while. Excellent. Right, so we're going to swap over to Earthen, get the laystone ore from him, and then we're going to come back and we'll do those. We'll make the braces, and then we'll collect up the 2 quests for the 6 Blood of Sargeras, and then try and keep an eye out for some others at a better price later on. So going through the restocking, I like to do a major restock on a Sunday really, just to keep everything well laid out. Let's go around from my bank and go in here.
Shall we talk
So what have we
business?
got here? Laystone ore. Got a few other random bits in here. I need to sort that out. What's in the reagent bank? Laystone ore here. So let's take 40 out. And we'll pop those over, and we'll send those straight to Samadan. So let's head over here, and then we can go and send. Bring up my bags. Where are my bags? There they are. Oops. Collect up all of those. 40 laystone ore to Samadan. Send mail. So that's gone, and then we'll log out and then log back in, and then we'll get that from you. Jump back in here, and then we can move on to Dalaran and get our Bloods of Sargeras. Okay, so back to the mailbox. Let's fly, that'll be easier. Up and over is usually quicker. So we'll collect up those, and then we'll go and head over to Dalaran. We still need to make the bracers. I'm all out of exhaustion. Don't make me go back to the scrapper. I'm sorry, Edwards. That's the only way for it. Maybe take a break from scrapping things and come back tomorrow with a fresh light. It's not something you have to put yourself through if you don't want to do it. Okay, so we're looking for... Where's the work order here? This one was the laystone ore we've got. This one is silkweave bracers. So let's look at our tailoring for this. And silkweave bracers we have here. So we need 9 Shalderai silk. That's in the guild vault. So we'll go over and collect some of that up. Head on round there. Pop into here. Shalderai silk should be in the tailoring section. We'll take, let's just take the stack for the moment. That's 64 to be precise. Now tailoring we needed, silkweave bracers we can make 7. We only need, I believe it's 3. Let me just double check that. Stormheim needed, oh it was only 1 actually, even better. We can do that, and 1 silkweave bracer. I'll create that. Hopefully that works. Yep, we've got that. Okay. Suffer with me, you're making 800 bracers for Fortunes. Just 800. It can get a lot higher than that, can't it? Right, let's head on over. So which would we do first? Looking at these two. Probably go over this way first. Supplies needed, laystone. Head off in this direction. And then we'll come back and do the next one. Is there anything else we can do whilst we're here? Oh, I remember doing the bacon back in the day. That used to be such a thing, getting that. Anything else? I don't really need the chaos crystals from these items or anything like that. Gold isn't anything really we need at this stage. Oh, that's interesting. My icons are moving off to the side. Right, let's carry on in this direction. We need to just highlight that quest actually. Let's go over here and highlight that one. Then we can target that one and make sure we fly in the correct direction. There we go. So happy you decided rather not make gold and craft and scrap 10,000 bracers. Other silkweave bracers for a shuffle, or trying to sell them for transmog. The first one, I hope. The bracers in this case are literally just for the quest hand-in. At one point there were 500 per bacon. I remember it was happy days, certainly. Get to the scrapper. I think that would make it a lot more interesting, certainly. Right, where are we? Oh, that's not too far. We need to dive. Gone a little bit high here. Let's head down over there somewhere. Yeah, at least you didn't go through that. I think sometimes you have to make those decisions for your own sanity. Is it something you really, really want to do? If not, then by all means move on, and you don't need to do that market if you really don't want to do it. I think that's a very wise choice. Right, let's have a look. Should be just in here. Where are you? Supplies needed. There you are.
Hello.
I'll take that. Claystone ore. That's quite pricey, really, for 3 Bloods of Sargeras. That's not the most cost-effective way of getting your bloods. But for me, at this point, because I already have them in stock, I'm going to count that as fine for the moment. And then we need to head on over to High Mountain and do the... I think it was in High Mountain. Was it in Stormheim? It was in Stormheim. I'll do that one. Head over in that direction. Easiest way round the mountain. I guess we could aim for the gap. Go up and over. That should be easy enough. Do I put baked potato at 75 and resell at 90 or 100 for 53k? Baked potato sells fairly frequently for me. So if I was happy to sit on that market for a little while and control the mats leading into it, then I might consider it, certainly. I don't want to be cancelling all the time in the hope to sell some, but our Hivop server, where at least 3 to 4 people are doing that for Isoneron, well, no choice. Yes, or you could just post little and often is the only other option, rather than cancelling, and see if you can generate some sales over a small period of time. If you're a raider and want to craft the BOP 470 socketed gear, probably need to do some mass scrapping. You probably do, yes. Cooking is good fun. The problem with cooking, though, is all the stuff that's not current content is such a waste, which is a real shame, because there's so much flavour in the, pardon the pun, in all the sort of other recipes and things like that. I wish they could bring them in or something like that. I'd like to do more of these sort of old world cooking. Maybe if it was still relevant as you were leveling up, but no one ever uses food and stuff whilst you're leveling up. It's just such a nice thing. You've got so many different recipes that you can use. Maybe if there was some achievements, more achievements like related to what you ate or eating things at certain times, that would be fun. I know the lyrics of the song That's Scary. I got no rings. Did I miss the joke on that one? Hold on. Better with friends. Friendships never end. That is very true, definitely. I've been really enjoying playing WoW with my wife. We've been sort of just like casually leveling up together, and it's a lot of fun, certainly. Will older recipes be more relevant in Shadowlands as old expansions are 10 to 50? Maybe, but I don't think people will really sort of hang around, so they still level through very quickly. Derpalicious, good evening to you. Not quite a new place, well it is, but we are just in, we're just downstairs in the living room. It's not you we need to speak to, it's the one behind me that I need to speak to. Silkweave Braces. Give me another 3 Bloods of Sargeras. Now, is that all I need here at the moment? Let's have a look. Going to my gathering. We also need some hexweave cloth, so we might as well head on over to... Oh, we've got some gloom dust to get here as well. Let's head over to the garrison and do that whilst we're here. That's that one. All the goldmaking community, the shopping operation. To be honest, for all the goldmaking community, the shopping operation and actually shopping is really underrated for most of the players. People only does shopping scans, items. Hold on. Do shopping scans generally when they're needed as gold maker, influencer gold making I should encourage more on my weekly blogs. What do I think of this? I think that's a good idea, Metcat. In terms of like making sure you buy things at a reasonable price, is that kind of where you're headed with that one? Is checking the market more frequently? So let's just do that for that one. I guess a lot of that doesn't actually the dancer trait, another trait we lost in the process. The dance studio, interesting. Okay, we won't do that one. Yes, definitely. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea, Metcat. I have to think of something I can construct around that. Playing around with your stack sizes for the Abyssal Healing Potions and Unbridled Fury. What are the max numbers people might buy at once? You think of experience? Well, it's very strange, Crozet, with the whole commodities now. People just buying what they need in just like the exact number. I would say maybe I have about 80 on at any one time, 50 to 80, and I do sometimes get sales of all of those in one go. That's my own personal experience of it, certainly. Just shy crossing 34 mil total gold earned on your main. Wow, just didn't realize that's so much. That's fantastic. Right, we've got that. We need to then jump around here. Where's my hidden person? You're not around here. Where are you hiding? Oh, there you are.
Hello.
Always miss you. Create all of those.
Have a good one.
And then we'll head on over here and we'll do these. I don't think I've got enough in my bags for these now. Let's collect all of those anyway. And then you're normally around here. So yeah, we need some more Draenic dust. I accidentally put those in the guild vault. I thought I'd need those. Let's take those out. Let's just borrow our guild bank for a moment. We need to collect those up. I didn't mean to take them out of my enchanting slot. 166, 200 and 200. I'll take those, and then we can at least do the work order for that for a little bit longer. There we go. So that's done. We've got some hex weave for that. Meant post 100, 200, 300 more at once. Yeah, I mean, could try it at that much, certainly. A typical raid night would be 40 per person. Okay. 1 use per boss for healing. If they have to farm, that's 12 per raid. Potions 24 per raid. Right. How hardcore they are and how organised they are with potions. I guess if you're really organised, you won't be buying them from the auction house at all. Add a rep bonus for the old food. Put in a system like BFA where when you pass Exalted, every 10k rep loot box may contain transmog items that may have been removed from the game. That's quite a nice idea. I like that. I'll go to bed now. I have to get up at 5:30. Ouch, drizzling race, that's early. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. And thanks ever so much for hanging out tonight. It's been lovely having you. So let me just go through and let's have a look. Good tips on how to get your own guild. I've been posting general trade for days and no signatures. I guess the standard way is for people to offer gold. Or Curia, if you want to say which server you're on, and there are people here that want to help you out. I'm sure we've done it before in the past. People will help you out and create characters on that server. Can trial accounts sign the guild charter? I'm not sure. It's fairly easy just to make one and send them over for those characters. Right, let's head back to the Snug Harbour Inn. They can't. Okay. Yeah, it would make sense actually, not being in a guild. You've offered 200 gold per signature. Had one response, but they wanted 1k gold. Oh, really? Wow. That is quite excessive because it doesn't take long at all. But yeah, let's know what server you're on. If we can help out in chat, we certainly will. All right, let's head on down to the guild bank. EU Grim Battle Alliance. If anyone wants to help, that's fantastic. If anyone would like to go over and help sign a guild charter, Excellent. Thank you, everyone. This is what I love about the gold making community. Everyone is just so helpful. It's lovely to see. Right, let's go through here and let's go here. And then, okay, night, Justin Rose. See you again very soon. Let's go through this. And we got that. Oh, I haven't done my Hexweave daily cooldown. Let's do that. And then let's also do our temporal crystal. And we'll do that. And then we'll move on over here. So some stuff from the auction house, some stuff from the guild bank. That's the main amount, really. Oh, that's fantastic. Lovely to see. Okay, so everything's going through. Got there. Mooncloth we need. Bolter mating. Oh, we haven't done mooncloth in a long time. We need the fell cloth for that. I must have picked some up for that already. Gloom dust I can probably get. It depends on how much it is on the auction house. Let's have a look. Let's just go over and check. So let's go through here. So we're looking at gloom dust. Let's open up and have a search. Not that one. There we go. Tailor and Craft. Scan all. There we are. Gloom dust. It's currently at 7 gold 30. Well, with my new Tide Spray linen, my mat cost is coming at 534. So we'll make some Tide Spray braces to make that gloom dust. 182, so we probably need maybe 20 braces will get me that. So let's just go through my crafting. Tide Spray linen braces. Let's make 20 of those. Not 203. 20, that'll be better. We'll make these up and we'll disenchant both the greens and the blues in this case. That'll be much easier. Genki on Shadow Song EU, need the same sign for guild help. Okay, Silent Mouse, I can help out with that one because I do have a character that could probably help you out there on Hellfire. I'll just finish off this crafting one. This throttle is annoying. Just makes you mad every time you encounter it when posting. I know, Derplicious. It's especially if you've got a huge volume of auctions, certainly. Right, let me just deal with this lot first. Yeah, once everyone's done with that one. This is the main thing I really like about TSM 4.10 is just being able to use the disenchant. We'll rant more tomorrow about the throttling. I can imagine Derplicious. I'm not sure what the other solutions, good solutions are. I mean, the main thing I've done is reduce the amount of cancels I do. That certainly helps me. It's just not. I've reduced my. I've reduced the duration of my auctions, and that helps with my my cancels. Not having to cancel can. Yeah, have you got everyone you need, Kioria? Do we need any more? And once I've done this, I'll head over and help Silent Mouse. So Gloom Dust, still need another 33 apparently. Didn't quite get enough with that lot, so let's make another 20. Let's make another 10 braces. That should be enough. I've got so many people helping. I nearly got a raid. That would be funny. Alright, we'll make all of these. That's all done, and then we'll disenchant this lot. Thanks, you need to create the guild first. Okay. Right, this is definitely plenty of gloom dust now. Excellent, Curia. Glad to help you out. Thank you everyone for helping Curia out. We'll go over and we'll help out Silent Mouse once they've made their guild. I might have a spare character. Moist Fillet from the auction house. Next thing we need here. So let's head over to the auction and let's scan for those. Moist Fillet currently at 94 silver, so it's pretty cheap anyway. I mean, that's, well, it's not as cheap as it has been. My mat cost, smart average buy price is 20 silver. so we'll probably have to reset our price on here. I'm just going to buy the amount I need, so I'll click buy out, and automatically it fills it up with 38, which is fantastic. Bal Asmodeus Jr., thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. So we're just going through and got a few more things to make here. Bolts of Mageweed and Mooncloth. Mooncloth I'm going to need to go to a Moonwell for, which means going to Stormwind for that. And the Neutral Chaos, thank you also for the follow. Some lovely names coming in tonight. But what I'll do is let us know, Silent Mouse, once you've got your guild ready, and I'll, I think, let's have a look. Let me just log out. Let me just check. I think Hellfire is not in a guild. Let's have a look. Stag Bank of Stormwind for mine. Original, I think. Very nice. Any idea on 4.10 beta? I don't know, Cat Meow Cat. That is for the developers at TSM to release when they think it's ready. I think it's Sun Stormwind Trade District Bank. Okay. Yeah, it's very, very nice, certainly. Oh, I haven't been on this character for a while. Look at this. I haven't got everything. Everything's a mess. Let's just move a few things around. Let's unlock window. I haven't been on this character in a long, long time. I doubt I've got anything in the mail. No. I don't know if I'm even in a guild. Am I? Let me look at my character name. Interface. Names. My name. Yes, I'm actually in Samadan Plays WoW, the guild. I can leave that one. They won't mind. Return to game. What is it? /guild quit? /g quit? G quit? G quit. G quit. There we go. Hellfire's left the guild. Oh no! There we go. Which operation for buying from a vendor? I use vendor. I use vendor buy. Let's just move this out to the side because that's a bit too big, and we don't need the task list here as well either. Does the new TSM 4.10 also have an ink trading option? How do you mean, Crowsack? I'm not sure. Right, who are we looking for? Where did you say you were, Silent Mouse? I'm just going to selling installments and Trade District Bank. Okay, let's head on over here. Must be here, Genki the Fearless, I'm guessing. Yeah, there we go. I'm happy to sign your charter. Question name, is it vendoring? Just to mass buy some distilled water. Yes, it's the vendor operation in TSM. So you go in here, and under groups you make say a new. Well, not in that one. That's probably a bad one. Operation under there. Then you got a vendoring operation there, and then you can go in there and mass buy restock quantity like 200. You put in there, enable buying. Is that what you mean, or is it something different? I have one question about this one then. Is it more stable about getting it in a fight? I find it's a lot more usable, certainly. Someone's showing off his long boy, definitely. With all the goblins we have on Shadowsong, maybe we should think about some kind of a monopoly on a market in Shadowsong. I'm not sure whether I'm comfortable with that, Will. I mean, obviously we all help each other out as much as possible. In Shadowlands. Ah, right, okay. I'm here if you need one. Silent Mouse. /wave. There you go. Trading ink in the gathering list, like buy from the auction house or a vendor. Also trade roseate pigments for specific inks you need. I'm not sure, Chris. I've not really looked into that. Since I have two accounts, can the new TSM version sync groups and operations or profiles across accounts too, not just the inventory? I don't know. I've not tried the multiple account thing. Sent me a request. How do I find a request? Does that go? Oh, this is new, isn't it? Guilds and communities. Find a guild. Join or create a community. Is it that one? No, not community. That's not the one I want. Guild finder. Does it come in here? It's a bit different now. I can't remember how it used to be a charter, wasn't it? How did it work? Pending. Haven't got anything pending here. How does it work with the charters now? We're in a party, so that works. Did I miss something here in the log? Let me just have a look. Not combat log. Invited in a group. We have that. Does something actually happen with this? I haven't done a guild in a long time. Let's have a look. How are we doing? You have to get them to click the item, I think. Yeah, didn't it used to be an item or something, wasn't it? We'll have a look. I'm happy to wait here whilst we work it out, certainly. Anything that helps out. Whilst I'm here, what have I actually got on this character? A fair amount of herbs. That's useful. Inscription. Okay, interesting. Do I have guild invite blocked? Oh, let me have a look. Where would that be? That would be in interface, or is it in social? Social. Let's have a look in social. Cancel that. Turn to game. Should get a big warning in the middle. It's in social. Let's have a look. Social. Let's check here in options. Interface options. Interface social. Here we go. And guild member alert. Ah, there we go. Block all guild invites. Thank you. Thank you for that. I do apologise, Silent Mouse. I had it all blocked. Try that again. Thank you for that. That was, I was wondering why nothing was happening. There we go. Sign charter. There we go. Fantastic. What else we missed? Okay, Mushy, thanks ever so much for stopping by tonight. Hope to see you again soon. Lovely having you here, as always. Love it when there's too many of us helping. Is that everything we need on this? Charter signed. Need more signs, so I need to switch realm and create a character. Let's have a look. Let's let this run through. Happy to stay here. Hi Brian, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Is that all sorted, Silent Mouse? Fantastic. Glad to help out anytime. Just joined the stream. What's the new background and setting? I like it. I'm down in my living room now, so we've just changed location because we're temporarily redecorating. I'm temporarily down here whilst we're redecorating the bedroom upstairs. There we go, fantastic. Well done, everyone. I'm going to log out here. And we'll jump back in. So that's Hellfire. I would like to do this character a little bit more because I've never really played a Warlock much. Obviously Paladin's been getting a lot of love recently, but not as much as Bridget, who's now level 81, and Feng Shu, who's 105 now, so doing very well there. We've done all of these. Let's go back to Samadan for the moment, and we'll just finish off our crafting list, because I've still got a few things to make, and then we should be done on that, and we can restock. And then we might finish off with a little bit of leveling just to end off the stream. Forgot how much you love the music in Stormwind. Takes you back. Yeah, the Stormwind music's fantastic. So many great memories there. Right, okay, so we're done here. Task list. We have, we've done those. Cooldowns are done. Mooncloth was the next thing. So we need to head on over. I'm assuming I have everything I need for the Mooncloth. Let's just look at the standard interface. And Mooncloth, yeah, we do have enough to make for the 8 fell cloth. I've got 19 and still in the guild vault. So my favourite place to find a moonwell is just in Duskwood, which is a short flight from Stormwind anyway. Remember the first time you went through the gates and saw the statues? I do remember it vividly indeed. I remember because I, as a human, as my first character, Samadan was my first character I made, and is still my main 15 years later. So I remember questing all around here and then heading over there. I remember vividly the first time I went into sort of the cathedral district and went over and started buying all my spells. That was fantastic. Right, 1-2. Good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you here. We're just going through and doing a fairly large restock here, so we're just going to make some mooncloth is our next thing. Definitely need to remodel the appearance of like 80% of the heirlooms. Look horrendous on the character select screen. That is true, actually. I haven't really done anything transmoggy on my warlock yet. Did I move rooms again? I did indeed. I'm downstairs in the living room now, temporarily whilst we redecorate the bedroom. So I'm down here for at least this week anyway. I would go and sit on the floor with Oreo, but because I'm actually going to be working here tomorrow, it's better for me to be actually at a desk for the moment. But it would be nice to... I don't know if Oreo's still here. Yeah. Oreo is... So if you can imagine, I'm sat at the dining table, and I'm sat on a... Oops, where's my entrance? There it is. So I'm sat on the seat here, and sat on the seat directly opposite me, which is underneath where the monitor is now, is Oreo. That's one of his favourite places to sleep down here, when I'm not sat on the blue rug. When is Father's Day in the UK? It's today. I spent some lovely time with my children earlier. Yeah, Oreo's just on a wooden chair. He loves to sit there. Yeah, I miss Oreo too. Being on stream, I get the pleasure of having him every day. But yeah, I think we'll maybe next time. I don't know how easy it will be. Maybe on Tuesday I'll see if I can move on over to the floor. It might be a bit tricky. We'll see. I won't make any promises, but we'll give it a go. Oh, thank you very much, Right12. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Let's create these whilst we're here. Wasn't sure if it was different like Mother's Day. I know it's very strange how different countries have different days for both Father's and Mother's Day, certainly. Your wife asked for a cookie sighting. Now, Cookie, I don't see is around. I think she's probably, last I saw her, she was upstairs fast asleep in my daughter's bed. So I've got a feeling she probably isn't going to surface again because she's already eaten tonight. wonder if the government set those days. I have no idea. I don't know where they start from. Right, we've got nearly everything we need here. We still need the moist fillet, mysterious essence from the enchanting crafts. Once we've done this, we might as well hearth back to probably Dalaran will be the best thing here. This might be the greeting card companies that do it. Right, let's hearthstone to Dalaran from here. Mage Weave, Mysterious Essence. Mysterious Essence I'll probably get from... I could do it from the Ethereal Shards. I tend to sometimes get it from my Spirit Dust instead though. That's usually cost effective. Midsummer Saturday, anyone tried to make some gold during this holiday in the past? I haven't tried yet. I mean, people have been talking about the pets being potentially useful for the Midsummer's Festival. I haven't tried yet myself. Right, so let's have a look here. GK Thriller, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Right, let's collect up. Let's just take the purchases for the moment. We'll keep those. We'll keep the sales for next week. And then let's have a look at our last couple of crafts. So, Mysterious Essence. I can get plenty from here from the Spirit Dust. So I'll do 3 of those. Oops, no, let's go 3 there. Create those. And then Bolt of Mage Weave is the next one. So we'll just swap the TSM4 for this. So we'll just go there, open, and then craft. And it will make the bolts of Mage Weave for me then. What do I think of Jimmy Carr the comedian? I find him generally amusing. The few times that I do watch TV, and but I don't really know him that well, so I'm only sort of aware of him more than anything else. Right, I think I've got everything I need now, so that's good. Let's make up all of this. So in theory, 20,000 profit coming through all of this. Mooncloth Robe being the greatest one there. So it's listed in terms of profit first. So Mooncloth Robe 1,100. We won't ignore that one. And then Shadowy Mask at 854. And the least profitable down here, Azure Silk Pants. So I'm just going to go through craft all of these. Hexweave bags. Now I was looking at Hexweave bags, 337. We were looking at resetting the price on those before. Let's have another look and see what the price of Hexweave bags is, because I would rather they were up more like the 800 and 900 mark. Let's just swap on over here. Let's do our food. And then we can do our enchanting. Do those quite quickly. But I wonder if they're just matching price of deep sea bags a little bit more now. Now that deep sea satin has finally gone down in price to something more reasonable. I think pets are actually the only thing you can sell from it. I think so. Natty, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Have to do the dishes before you can go to sleep. That's fair enough, Darkwing. I think I need to clean up the kitchen a little bit as well. Right, all of that is done. So let's have a look at Hexweave bags before we do something here. Let's go have a look and do a quick search here for the Hexweave bag. So they're currently at 549. Ideally, I would like to see them up here at the 990 mark. Looking at the prices of them here though, min buyout is 549, market value 515, region market is 638. So I think taking them back up to 900 would be optimistic in this sense. My smart average buy price is 900. I've bought them for as little as 795, so the price has definitely gone lower. My average sale price is 1,155. I've sold one for as much as 3,000 gold before, so that's pretty good. But looking at that, would also look at deep sea bag. Is it that, or is it deep sea bag? I can't remember. Yeah, we go. Deep sea bag is 373, and there's a lot here at 94 there at that price. I do have a bag operation for those. Do I have some on the auction house? It doesn't seem like I have some on the auction house. So I should really be in that market as well, if I'm going to be in the market for bags. So let's just have a look. Let's just remove enchanting. Let's look at bags. Deep sea bag, operations wise. So we need crafting operations, add more operations. We want 4, let's go 8 of each on the deep sea bags, I would say. And then sell bags would be fine for that. So I'd probably want to do deep sea bags as well, as it's currently a profit. And what's the price of umbral shards on my server? On your server it's 11 gold. Wow, that is cheap. Umbral shards for me, umbral shards are currently at 13 gold. My mat cost is actually telling me 31 gold. So they're definitely, well, the problem is I've got 3,400 of them in my guild vault, so I just basically need to turn bracers into expulsum, and then turn that expulsum into scepters, and then turn those umbra shards into veil crystals. It's not the most cost-effective way of doing it though, so I don't really want to do that in masses, and there's a lot of time involved there as well. Mr. Dash Dude and Just Blaze, thank you both for the follow. Lovely to have you here. Just posted 600 deep sea bags on your server at 250. If they all sell, you make a killing. Very nice. That's a lot in one go though, 600. Honestly, Throttling's killing the fun for me. I'm sorry to hear that, Derflicious. Reposting 1,300 auctions is way more painful than it used to be. Is it really? Is that because of the cancelling though? Is there a way you can get around the cancelling by maybe changing your listing time down to sort of like 12 hours or something like that? That might be more use of your time, perhaps, avoiding the cancelling. Right, so thinking out loud here, we're thinking bags. We need to restock on some bags. So if I went over here and went to my gathering and look at select all professions, no, crafting, TSM groups, restock selected groups. We've got the enchant weapon. I might need to do a reload to get that back in. Actually, no, we won't need to do that. We just need to select that and then a restock there. Why is that 7 versatile navigation? That's interesting. Restock selected groups. There we go. Deep sea bags, 8 of those. Not telling me a profit on the list on there. Versatile navigation seems quite high. I haven't sold those. I'm going to take that one off for the moment. I'm going to craft these. Do I need enough for this? I've got enough that I need anyway. So I'm going to craft these deep sea bags. Might as well get into this market as well. Derp is the constant cancel scanner. Oh, right, I see. So it's not something you can really avoid. Could be worth getting a second account to post your old world stuff in the background. There's a cap of 100 that's unrelated to the throttling. We see now, as we've seen no more throttling posting, except for the 100 searches per minute. It's been in the game since April, I think. Yes, that's interesting, isn't it? They reported that after all this stuff came through, is that actually that's been in there, we just didn't notice a lot of the time. Baby Goblin looking to get into gold making whilst we're in downtime. What do people recommend as a good starting point? Raw gold farm for a while or something else? I mean, if you think that'll be fun, do that certainly. Raw gold can be the way to get yourself some starting capital, as can be doing simple things like doing the emissaries for gold. Anything that you think you might enjoy, start off with. Generally, you could then move on to things like professions, if you think you might enjoy professions. Those, for me, are my preferred way of making gold. And then other people might like to farm raw materials and sell those on the auction house. People might want to flip items. It's all very varied, really. So it's dependent on what you think you might enjoy. Try that first. Our bags are now only 140ish. Ouch! I mean, I'm considering the Hexweave bag market here is the main thing. we were looking at in this case. That's what led me on the slight diversion to do the deep sea bags, because I might as well do those as well. But from what I'm looking at here, the Hexby bags, if I were to try and push these back up to 990, if I was to buy these, that would be, whoops, oh yes, I forget. When you buy bags, you have to buy them singly. So I can't see the price of all of these. How many have we got? 20, 25, 31, 43, 44, 47 at about 500 to 600. So let me just check that. 47 times, say, 575 as an average. 27,000 gold that would cost me. Is the bags we have here. Now, would I be able to get the price higher? I'm not sure, really, looking at this. Plus the one I just bought for 1k. I didn't actually buy it at that price, thankfully. I would have automatically bought it at this price down here. Oh no, it does say, actually, I won it for 990. That was a mistake. Yeah, let's not forget about that. I did buy a... Now, that's interesting. Now, with everything else, with commodities, you always buy the cheapest. Yet, with the bags, you can buy them more expensive. Yeah, I did, didn't I? That's very interesting. Well, I tell you what, I'll take that as a mistake well learnt. We'll avoid that one. And I'm not going to reset the market on these. So, that will be a lesson learned on that. Let's not fiddle with this. That's interesting. I didn't realise you could do that with the bags, is buy them at any price. I always thought you'd always bought the minimum one, but looking at my logs, it's definitely that way round. So in which case we're going to avoid that. I'm not going to do that, and we're going to just post these on instead. Or let me just stop that a minute and make sure that everything else is on select all. Where's my select? Oh yeah, select all groups. Oh, it's turned into an icon now. That's interesting. Expand, collapse all groups, and then select, deselect all groups. That's quite handy. I like those two little icons. That's new. I hadn't seen those before. Let's run a post scan on those. You sometimes do it on purpose and buy something from the person that got undercut by 1 copper. Ah, right. Well, yeah, I mean, with commodities, that never happens, but at least with this one, we can at least buy that one. We at least made someone happy, anyway, buying their bag for 990. It's transparent you're posting in such large numbers. Sometimes do it because surely you only need to be the first one on the list, current BFA stuff. You're just posting, obviously something going on there. Interesting that it's so slow for you for just posting. Right, so we've got all of that posted on. Let's see if we can get some sales through that. So, oh, I used a lot more time than I thought I had. So, right, very quickly, just for the end of the stream then, I'm going to jump over and do a very little bit of levelling just to get me through a little bit more on Bridget, who's currently 81 in Mount Hygel, doing the levelling through there rather than Pandaria. Thought we'd do something a little bit different on this character, just following Azeroth autopilot. Now I guess we could go back to Stormwind. Don't we get a buff with the Midsummer Fire Festival? Is it reputation and experience? I can't remember. We could maybe jump back and have a look at that. Where am I in terms of travelling wise? I'm actually quite close. So we could probably head back to Stormwind over here, I believe. Can we not go through here? Oh, it looks like we can't. Interesting. How do we get back? Oh, we're over the wrong side. We're the wrong side. That's Orgrimmar. We want to be this side for Stormwind. Got herb mining when leveling? I have indeed. Let's go have a look. Yeah, reputation and XP for the 10%. Ah, right, okay, fantastic. Arnota coming in with a raid of 48. Oh, thank you so much, Arnota. Lovely to have you here. How was your stream? Welcome everyone from our notice stream. You just caught me at the end of my stream. We're going to be here for another 13 minutes or so, just as we go through and do some leveling up on my hunter. I need to go over and get myself the Midsummer Fire buff. As far as I remember, I believe it's just over here, and we're going to go jump on the pole somewhere. Danish Wildlife, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Does anyone know where the vendor is? I don't know where the vendor is. I imagine they'd be close to where the whole thing is going on at the moment. It's beside the shaft. Yeah, that's where I thought it was, over here. Always never get to raid me. Hope I'm doing well. You're awesome. You are definitely awesome, Arnota. Good to hear. Yeah, it's lovely to be able to pass it backwards, certainly. Right, where's the fire pole? Is this the thing? I can't remember. Oh, no, this is it. This is the one. And then, do we have to run around it? I can't remember. Do we charge it up? Or do we just stand? I think we charge it up this way, don't we? There we go, 9 minutes. I'm just going to spin around here. This is the buff, isn't it? Ribbon dance. Experience gains from killing monsters increased by 10%. There we go. I'm just going to spin around here. There we go, 27 minutes. You can just still. Oh, it's more fun to spin around. We'll just keep spinning around. Sorry if this makes you all busy. Dizzy. 39 minutes. It's not quite the Dark Moon Fair buff. There we go. There we go. Making my pets dizzy. My poor pets. There we go. We'll stand still. Vendor is in Central Stormwind, near the prison, and you thought it was in Elwyn Forest. Okay, so it is all the same area, isn't it, over here? Okay, so we're up to 60 minutes, which is fantastic. So we have a nice little extra buff here to add into ourselves. I've never really done any of the festival things. I've kind of avoided all of those. Where do you want me to head over here? Pick up quest. Which quest is that? The King's Command. Eye of the Storm. Peer into the waters of far seeing. Okay, we'll do that whilst we're here. I'm not sure what this one is, but I might as well. As we're here. Oh, is it the Pandarian stuff? Now, interestingly though, this is telling me to do this is asking me to do the Hyjal stuff, but maybe it's not. Let's have a look. Grand Admiral Jess Hereth. Yes, that's the one, isn't it? We go through this and we have a look, and then we head over here. Hand in quest, then do quest part over here. Quest accepted the mission on the gunship. Yeah, this is the Pandaria one, isn't it? And we head on over there. We could do that. I mean, I've been enjoying doing Hyjal, so I'm going to carry on with Hyjal for the moment. We'll ignore that for the time being. Was it here? Which one? Oh, this is Cataclysm. This is the wrong place. Where do I want to be? Where am I thinking I need to be? To get to Mount Hyjal. How did I port there in the first place? I can't remember. The catapultal is Hyjal. It's in the portal room, is it? Oh, right, okay. I wondered where it was. Okay, thank you. Completely forgot where I got them. When you couldn't talk to the guy in the airship. Oh, really? Right, let's head over this way. It's up in the castle. Missed so many streams. Are we back on the floor now? Not quite, Saranid. We're in the living room still. I was right there. Was I just there? Was that the right place? It was the right place. Okay. Hold on. It's where I was. Okay, hold on. What was I missing then? Ah, right. It looks like a kill tree. I just haven't unlocked it. Oh, I looked at that for some reason and I thought I was something missing. Okay. Right, let's have a look. This one. Okay, portal. I was right. For some reason I got completely confused. When I look at this one and I saw it wasn't locked, I thought, hang on, am I in the wrong place? I forgot that I'm just in the hide your part. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the help. I was going completely mad then. Just running around in circles. Right, let's carry on here, and let's carry on with the quest bits and pieces. Need to be level 84 for the Oldham one. Aha! So currently as 81, I can't quite go there. Jake Evans, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I missed a few people coming in there whilst I was being all confused. Let me just scroll up, see what I missed. Is the buff from the Midsummer XP and rep? It tells me at the moment it's just experience gained, so it doesn't tell me reputation as well. Right, let's go have a look and do a little bit of questing here for the end. I'm sorry to hear it's affecting you so much, Derpalicious. I haven't experienced it myself with my level of characters at the current stage. I can hear Oreo moving around below me. Right, what do we need to do? We need to turn in some quests here. Any fast way to get blood off Sargeras with a blacksmith jewel crafter? Not that I know of, specifically for those professions. Oh, he's gone over to eat. I can hear him. Oh, got a little too close to the fire there. Right, what do we need to do here? Head on over here. Have that one in. And pick up a quest.
Be careful.
And then we can go and do this. Do a few things here. So what do we need to do? Right. I do enjoy playing a hunter. After stream, I'm going to watch Hazelnut and make donuts. Oh, fantastic! Is she doing a cooking stream? Oh, I love Hazel's cooking streams. Shabada, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Lovely to see you here. I'm just going through and oh, I need to pick up these bundles actually. Supplies. There's a lot of supplies we need to pick up. Okay, we can take those. Help my bear out. There we go. Loot that, and then right. What's best here? Provisions, maybe. Oh, there's another one just respawned here. We'll take that whilst you're here. Got about 1,700 auctions and getting undercut really fast, so it has to cancel scanning every 5 to 10 minutes. Everything's set up on a single tune. Ooh, hold on. There we go. Slave driver. There's another one just respawned here, so we'll take you as well. There we go. To make it easy for yourself, around 1,600 auctions. Throttling is supposed to stop. Can't stand that it's not. I see. Well, looks like my bear needs a bit of a heal. Do that. Do that. Just let all this run through. Then I'll go pick up all of these provisions. I think it's because we're at the starting of this area. It should be easier. Another one just pops again. So we can get these supplies fairly quickly. 24 or 36. We'll do these whilst I'm here. There we go. What's the weather like in the UK? Currently it's very pleasant, although that said, it's going to get hotter next week, and I'm really not looking forward to that. I'm about at the limit of my heat tolerance at this stage. Oh, got an extra one. So it's gonna be warmer, warmer next week. We're off for that. Have a great week, Sam. See you on Tuesday. You too, Edwards. Lovely to have you here. Right. Okay. We should have enough for all of these. That's complete. We'll loot that, and then next we've got some storm vine around here. Don't forget to pick that up. Take that, and then we also need to kill the Twilight Hunters. What else was over here? That was over this end. Where was that? There it is. Obsidian deposit. We'll take that as well. Getting about 30 degrees in Sweden. Ouch. That's too hot for me. Let's take a hunter. Whilst we're here. Oh, I gained a little bit extra aggro there. Didn't quite mean to do that. Slave driver. And we'll do you as well. I'll heal my bear. Sounds like a pain. Annoying. Really. Sort of have everything up the way you like it. Yeah. It's definitely not fun when it's all set up for you. BCS 30 here on Wednesday, Thursday as well. Ouch. I'm definitely not. That's not a temperature I like at all. 30 is too hot for me. That's going to be tough. I must admit. Go there. Then we'll loot that. Then we'll take this next one. We'll do that next one. Yeah, anything over 24. 21 is pleasant. Anything over that is definitely too hot. It's kind of like a nice middle ground really there. Okay, as you're here, whoops. Let's take that. Also we've got some herbs and we've got some ore here as well at the same time. So I'll take these whilst I'm making use of that with my pet. Get those as well. Finish that off, and one more Twilight Hunter, so we'll head on back to the hand-in area, find one on the route if possible. There it is. One right next to me, that's fair enough. Help me get it working. Also for some reason have found out that when you download the spreadsheet into Excel it wouldn't work. Probably the stream according to TSM. I'm glad Metcat managed to get it working for you. Thank you Metcat for your help, and Templar Chris, glad you got it working. Right, so let's go hand those in, and that is me done with time already. Wow, that went very quickly. Although I did mess around a little bit there before going there, so let's just take those, collect all of those, and I could probably do with heading back here to a rested area, but I think, you know what, I'll just leave myself here for the moment. We should be fine. Just waiting here. Yes, I think I'll stay here. As we've got a decent amount of rested XP, and then I'll keep my buff for as long as possible. That should be fine. Wow, that went really quickly. I want to say big massive thank you everyone who's hung out in the stream tonight. Really enjoyed your company, really enjoyed talking about the throttling and everything, and hopefully the solution is better for most. I know Derbalicious, you're finding it very frustrating. I hope it's okay for people. I mean, obviously we can still feed back to Blizzard. Do pets make trade skill error? I'm not sure in the 4.95. Let's go have a look, see if we can throw a raid over. So, what have we got at the moment? Mad Season is... Oh, Mad Season's doing all these sort of classic PvP stuff. Wynham, thank you very much for the follow. Lovely to have you here. We also have Warcraft Radio. I'm guessing the only one Goldmaker who's on at the moment is Lazy Goldmaker. So we will send one over to Lazy Goldmaker, I think. I think we did him last time, but as the only one that's on my list, I'll keep it going. So let's have a look. Let's have a... Right, okay. Slash raid Lazy Gold. Did I spell that right? Yep. Maker. There we go. Okay. thank you everyone. Shababa, thank you very much for the follow as well. Thank you everyone for an absolutely lovely stream. I really enjoyed your company. So until next time, until next stream will be on Tuesday. So we'll still be down here, I imagine. So I hope you have a lovely start of your week, and we will see you sometime very soon, hopefully. Until then, happy gold making. And for myself and Oreo, good night and farewell.